friend Joe Pinelli. We're waiting for him.
You mean he hasn't shown up yet?
No, but we'll get him.
You won't have to wait any longer. The man you want is riding my second horse, wrapped in that blanket.
What are you talking about?
See for yourself.
Jim, all right. What happened?
Doesn't matter. The death of your friend Joe Pinelli has been avenged, Barker. An eye for an eye. That's what you wanted, isn't it? So now I trust you'll give Liam O'Bannon a suitable burial. Then I started back down the mountain trail. Whatever had delayed Red O'Bannon's trip to Norfolk had saved his life. But I became more and more concerned as to what had happened to him. I reached the end of the rocky ledge, and there, off to the right, in a grassy meadow, was a horse that looked somehow familiar. He was nibbling grass and wearing an empty saddle. I turned around and went back up the trail. Hey, Red! Red O'Bannon! Hey! Hey, Red!
Like the voice of an angel.
Ooh. Red?
Yes.
Red, you all right?
For the time being. Yeah, Paladin.
Yeah.
That's no good. Cussed, not-headed horse. He did it again.
Yeah, well, you can be mighty grateful to that no-good, cussed, knot-headed horse.
What's that?
Never mind. I'll get the rope.
Have Gun Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed in Hollywood by Frank Parrott and stars John Daner as Paladin with Virginia Gregg as Miss Wong. Tonight's story was specially written for Have Gun Will Travel by Ann Dowd. Specially featured in the cast was Ben Wright with Harry Bartell, Jack Moyles, and Gene Bates. This is Hugh Douglas inviting you to join us again next week when CBS Radio presents Have Gun Will Travel.
Have Gun Will Travel is brought to you through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
I came here to tell you I'm not an executioner. It doesn't feel good to kill a man. Not a bit good. But your husband didn't leave me any choice.
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel. Headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Sounds wonderful. And then, Mr. Paladin?
And then, perhaps a cordial for a nightcap.
I do believe I'll be looking forward to this evening a great deal, Mr. Paladin.
And I, too.
Mr. Paladin,
Oh, what?
I've been looking for you. I find you.
Hey, boy, your timing is abysmal.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Paladin, but credit must go to mailman. He just brings special delivery letter for you.
Excuse me, my dear.
What?
Oh, say, I'll meet you in the lounge later.
Well,
Oh, she in very high dungeon.
Dudgeon.
Yes, sir, that's what I say. Very high dungeon.
Dear Mr. Paladin, I need you for an important assignment immediately, and so forth. There's a $3,000 bonus for you upon completion. Something. I appreciate seeing you at your earliest convenience. So, very truly yours, E.J. Randolph, Coloma Bank. Coloma?
Oh, you there not long ago, yes?
Yes, about 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah. Here you 2 tickets for opera tonight.
Take them back, hey boy.
Yes. What?
I'm leaving for Coloma tonight.
Oh, must be real big trouble to interfere with lady who was almost kissed.
Wire Mr. Randolph. Tell him I'm on my way.
Dandruff bothers most men, most women too, so listen. Today you can get rid of embarrassing dandruff in just 3 minutes. Yes, with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. Unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. That's not all. Using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And never forget, gentle Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
Coloma was a poor excuse for a town. It's out alone and awkward in the center of a dry, scorched plain with a few ranches stretching back towards the low mesas behind it. I'd been there before, and I killed a man there. I didn't like the town. I didn't like the people. But Randolph had offered me a lot of money. I found him sitting behind his desk at the bank.
Well, Paladin, sure good to see you.
Hello, Mr. Randolph.
Sit down, sit down.
Thank you.
How about a little rye to cut the dust, huh?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Hey, didn't waste any time getting here.
The distance between San Francisco and Coloma is shorter when there's a $3,000 fee involved.
Right to the point. That's what I like about you, Paladin. That's why I sent for you. Well, here's luck.
Thank you. So, what can I do for you, Mr. Randolph?
You did a job for John Griffin about 2 months ago. He hired you to bring back Steve Morrow. Remember him?
You don't forget someone you've killed.
Didn't mean any offense.
No, I'm not offended. Morrow tried to kill me. I had to kill him. Griffin wanted Morrow because Morrow had killed his son. What's that got to do with you?
Morrow robbed this bank before he killed that Griffin boy. He took $30,000.
I still don't see the connection.
Paladin, I've got to have that $30,000 back by the first of the month, or I'll lose everything I own.
And you need help.
Yes. Yes, I need help. Badly. 15 years of hard work, building a business and a name for myself, gone, just like that. Gone and signed over to John Griffin.
John Griffin? How does he figure in this?
He's the biggest depositor the bank has. He knows about the stolen money, and he's using that knowledge. He's given me notice that he wants to withdraw $30,000 on the 1st. If I don't have it, the deed to this building and most of the other property the bank owns will be signed over to him. And I don't have it, Mr. Paladin.
Well, then, that makes my job fairly easy.
Well, how's that?
Find Morrow's widow. She must have the money, or at least know where it is.
I don't think so. She's still living in that cabin up there on the mesa. Well, the sheriff and I have been up a dozen times searching the place, trying to talk her into telling us where it is. She hasn't got the money. If she had it, she'd have left Coloma and gone someplace else to spend it. Either that or at least paid up the back taxes on the farm.
I thought for sure Rose had that money.
Rose?
Steve Morrow's widow.
You mean Lucy Morrow. Her name's Lucy.
Oh? I'm going to check into the hotel and freshen up a bit.
And then what?
Ride out and talk to Lucy Morrow. Morning, Mr. Randolph.
Yes?
Good afternoon, Miss Morrow. I'm Paladin.
Did you think I could forget you, Mr. Paladin?
No, I suppose not. I'd like to talk to you, if I may.
I'm going to work on the rose garden. You can talk there if you wish.
Yes, I noticed them as I rode up. They're beautiful.
They are. It's an eastern variety, Calinaris.
Oh? Must be rather difficult to grow them out here.
Oh, it's worth the trouble to have one lovely thing here. They were a present from Steve. He brought me some cuttings after one of his trips back east.
Why have you stayed on here?
Simple. There's nowhere else to go and no money to go with.
Your husband took $30,000 from the Coloma Bank. It's never been found.
This house was turned inside out. Do you think I'd be living here like this if I had $30,000?
Perhaps not.
I don't know anything about that money, Mr. Paladin.
I don't mean to bother you, Mrs. Morrow.
Why do you bother me, then? You knew this before you came out here.
I killed Steve. If it hadn't been me, it would have been somebody else, somewhere else. He was an outlaw, a killer. I suppose I wanted to come here and tell you that I'm not an executioner. I was bringing him in, and he went for his gun. Doesn't feel good to kill a man. Not a bit good.
I know you're not the kind to kill for the sake of another notch on your gun, but Steve was my husband. Please don't come back here again. Or if you have to, wait until I'm gone.
You're leaving?
Yes. They're auctioning the place for $276 back taxes. Oh, don't look so pained. I'll get along. Maybe it'll be best. Get out of here, Paladin. Leave me alone, please.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Morrow.
I'm a mean widow, kid.
And are you pleased with yourself?
Sure, 'cause I'm a germ. A bathroom germ. Bathrooms is where the meanest germs get to live. Do I have fun causing odor and spreading disease?
Well, you better watch out, son, or your landlady may find out about Lysol brand disinfectant.
Lysol?
Oh, Lysol.
That's what I said. Lysol.
Well, anyway, a lot of women are finding that a dash of Lysol in their cleaning suds every week wipes out nasty bathroom disease germs like you, disinfects from one cleaning to the next as no other product can, wipes out many deadly viruses, too. Lysol makes every cleaner work better. It's the easy, modern way to get bathrooms really clean and free of odors.
Lysol can do that?
And what's more, now, besides regular Lysol, there's a new sweet-smelling, pine-scented Lysol, and they're both out to get you.
Hey, was you ever a mean widow kid?
One more remark like that, and I'll open this bottle of Lysol.
Help!
The Griffin Ranch was the same as it had been. Old, solid, and well kept. Run by a man who was old and solid and tough. A man who had lost one son by Steve Morrow's gun and had one son left. A man who could not forget or forgive.
Well, you look about the same, Paladin. Come on in, set a spell.
I'd just soon sit out here in the fresh air, Mr. Griffin.
Fine, fine. What brings you back to these parts?
$30,000.
Stolen money, eh? A lot of people like to get their hands on that. You ought to have a pretty good idea where it might be.
Why do you say that?
Well, you were the last person to be with that murdering fool. The way I had it figured, Morrow had the money with him when you killed him. I hear you've been living pretty high on the hog up in San Francisco.
Those are harsh words, Griffin.
Oh, now, don't get itchy. I was just only joshing. You wouldn't be back here if you had it.
Steve Morrow didn't have that money when I found him. And according to his wife, he didn't even have it when he left the farm.
Oh, you talked to her?
I just came from there.
It takes a lot of nerve for a man to go up and talk to the wife of somebody he killed. Hey, you suppose Steve Morrow hid it on that farm of his?
Mr. Randolph and the sheriff searched it.
I know. Old Randolph's getting fidgety. A while back, he got the idea that Morrow buried the money up on the mesa. You never saw such digging and poking around. I swear the mesa's 10 feet shorter on account of it.
That farm adjoins your property, doesn't it?
Yeah. On the south. Why?
I hear it's up for auction. Should be worth at least a couple of $1,000s to you.
I'll get it for $276. The taxes.
Someone will outbid you at that price.
I don't reckon so, Paladin. Nobody else is going to bid on it. Those who can afford to bid on it don't have any use for that farm.
Randolph might have use for it.
Ah, that old pussyfoot. He wouldn't know how to plant potatoes.
He might know how to dig for stolen money.
Hey, tell me something, Paladin. You working for Randolph?
Maybe. Maybe not.
You are working for him. I might have known. You know, I'd just assume the money doesn't get back to the bank.
Oh?
I'd lose about $60,000 in holdings that belong to it. Those holdings will be mine come the first of the month. Oh, that's not a pretty way to talk, but at least it's the truth.
I see. What happens to Randolph, then?
Out in the cold where he deserves to be. If I ran my ranch like he runs that bank, I'd have been out of business a long time ago.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Thank you for coming in, though. I do appreciate it.
Heading back to town.
No, Paladin, I hate to see a man like you working on the dark side of the fence.
I'm ready. I know. It's
Which
okay. You don't have to raid if you don't want. If you got other people to raid, I'm totally fine with it. Thank you for even acknowledging, man. You're all good. You're all good in the neighborhood.
No, ain't that a downright shame?
Just trying to get all these colors in.
No, but her husband did. All I hope is that his kin are gonna suffer on account of it. That's how I feel about Morrow and her.
Let's go a little bit lighter.
Come in.
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing awesome. I've been great so far.
Staying up this late?
I do my best thinking when the town's
So far, it's been real nice. I've been working hard and hardly working. And I just thought I'd stream this morning.
Territory between Coloma and the Mesa.
It'd be nice to just stream.
Not without
You know, the usual.
Now, since when does a killer
Hope you've been doing good. How was your stream anyway?
Whatever you want to say
Has it
about
been
Morrow,
good?
He loved his wife. He'd have wanted to make sure she was provided for him. Why, he even spoke about her when he was dying. His last words were, Rose, tell her that... Wait a minute. Tell her...
What are you talking about?
Randolph, that money's up there on the farm.
You mean she does have it?
She doesn't know it, but it's there.
Where is it, then? Why, we've torn that place apart.
You just didn't dig in the right spot.
No, you should do the art stream. You should stream art, man.
1 o'clock in the morning.
And I'll
Hell,
be digging
I
by
mean,
2.
There's multiple people that keep saying they're not artists, and then they start drawing with me, and they become artists.
Now there's a luxury car that fits regular parking spaces.
The more
and
the
ordinary
merrier, I
garages.
say.
Easy
Come
to handle in
on,
traffic.
you
It's
can
America's
draw.
compact luxury car, the Ambassador by Rambler. Now, medium-priced car buyers can have the room, comfort, luxury, and performance they expect in a fine car, but without excessive length, width, and bulk. If other medium-priced cars have sized and priced you out of the market, then you owe it to yourself
I'm not the best artist, but I'm
American Motors'
pretty
finest,
darn
the
good so
luxuriously
far.
compact Ambassador. Note the quality construction and careful attention to detail.
I would
Thrilled
love
with
to
the
see
supremely
you,
responsive 270
you
horsepower
work on
V8
art.
engine.
I would love to
Enjoy
even,
luxury
hey,
features
I'd
like
even love
individually
to
adjustable
be on
front
your
seats
art,
that glide back and forth separately.
on
5 minutes at
your
the wheel
art
of an
stream, man.
Ambassador
I would
will
love to
change your
stream art
ideas
with you.
about luxury cars. Test our best, the Ambassador V8 by Rambler. Finest car ever priced so close to the lowest. See, drive the luxurious Ambassador, now at Rambler dealers.
Oh, man.
When I dismounted at Lucy
Oh,
Morrow's, I
man.
thought I
Well,
heard
you
a
could
horse
do it through your
snicker in a nearby
phone.
clump of cut.
You could set it up, camera through your phone and do it like that. That'd be good. There's a
Lucy
lot of
Morrow was
artists
a light
that do
sleeper.
that.
She answered my second knock.
What do you want?
Put the shotgun down, Miss Morrow.
What are you doing here this time of night?
The money. It's here on the farm.
We've been through that before, Paladin. They ripped my place apart. Every floorboard, every inch of this cabin, the yard's full of holes. You saw it this afternoon.
Just put it right above you, like right head height or something like that.
I don't mean to be
Yeah, something like
now
that.
get away
Yeah.
from here before I blast that shirt right off your back.
You wouldn't have to leave tomorrow if I find the money.
I'm not wasting any more words with you.
Miss Morrow, in your rose garden, is there a bush not doing well?
Paladin, it's late and it's cold.
Answer
Oh
me,
yeah,
is
if it's not one thing, it's
Well,
another.
yes, there is one, but what's that got to do with the money?
flowers need soil at their roots, Miss Morrow, not gold.
What?
You give me a shovel, I'll show you what I mean.
That's why a lot of artists use stands. What you could do, and this is a possibility, what you could do is you just prop up your phone. You just prop up your phone sideways on your table and then point it at the direction of your art. And just be like, hey guys, I don't have a proper setup yet, but I would like to do some art with you guys.
Yeah, this is it. A leather bag from the Coloma Bank.
We'll open it. Gold
Oh
coins.
my
$30,000
goodness.
worth.
Here in the rose
Rabbit.
garden all the time.
Drop that.
You make the most silliest of noises.
What to say? Good. I'll just stand.
Yeah, you could try that. That'd be great.
Let's move in.
I would love to see your art.
See you both.
Lucy,
Yes.
when I say the word, throw that lamp at them high, eye level, then hit the ground fast. I'll say when.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
No more. Don't shoot again.
Just stand easy, mister.
Yeah. I can't wait,
Didn't
man.
have much choice.
That'll be fun. You doing an art stream, man? I would love that.
I'll get you for this, Paladin.
Don't try anything foolish, Mr. Griffin. You're already in enough trouble.
I'm in trouble.
Trying to hijack stolen money, trespassing, attempted murder.
Paladin, there's someone coming.
Yeah, I heard him. I think it's Randolph.
Randolph.
He knew I was coming out here. He probably couldn't stand waiting in town. After all, the money belongs to his bank.
Oh, man. That'll be fun.
Paladin. Paladin, you all right?
Yes, we're all right. We're over here, Mr. Randolph.
Well, what happened? What was all the shooting?
Well,
Just
there
gotta
was a
get this
discussion.
John of
Who was
Arc
going to get that bank's
character done.
You mean you have the money? You found
She's a
it,
French
all of it?
lady, so you know.
Oh, good. Good.
Well,
That's
that's
it,
an
right?
old Ghostbusters
Now,
joke. Don't worry about
In
me.
regards to my fee, Mr. Randolph.
You know, the French
Yes.
don't wear anything under that.
I want you to give it to Lucy.
Ghostbusters 2
Woman ought to
joke.
be able to keep her home if she wants to. At the auction tomorrow, you can decide whether you want to stay or leave this charming town.
Thank you, Paladin.
As for you, Griffin, get your boy back to your own ranch and bandage that leg of his. I don't think Lucy Morrow cares one way or the other what happens to you.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Randolph wants to bring charges later. That's up to him.
And thank you, Real Kazoo. You've been
myself,
great so far. I
saying
do
goodbye to
appreciate it,
Coloma
man.
for the last time.
Oh, my God. My rabbit. What are you doing, rabbit? He's like, I'm just
you
a
got
rabbit.
Mr. Paladin.
And ready
Little
to see the
stinky
city
butt.
bright and
Now I
shining.
love you.
Oh, best you go away 2, 3 more days, maybe.
I know I don't need to thank you.
Who?
Hey, you coming in here and chilling out with me? That's something.
Very unhappy when you know take
I
her to
appreciate
the-
everybody that comes in and chills out with me.
Oh, yes, sir.
Important business?
Yes, sir, but her business more important to her, I think, Mr. Paladin. He maybe kill you, huh?
Hope not. Well, the best way is the direct way.
Blam. That's a good question. I think I'm gonna make the rim of it gold.
Oh,
I hope you missed me.
Color. That'll be fine.
You did miss me. I have no other cheek to turn.
then kindly turn yourself around and leave me alone.
I can hardly do that. You see, I've thought of nothing and no one but you all this time.
Really?
Really?
Am I to believe?
You are to believe only that which will make you feel better and me feel better, and both of us enjoy a lovely evening together.
Yeah, go eat, Kaz. Go eat, buddy.
Dinner?
Yeah, go destroy those foods.
You are a very
All right.
convincing man.
The
I know
current
what you
issue of
meant.
TV Radio Mirror has a feature story on the man who portrays Paladin every Sunday night on CBS Radio, Mr. John Daner.
Have gun will travel.
Have Gun Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell, and stars John Daner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Albert Alley and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Vic Perrin, Eleanor Tannen, and Joseph Kern.
Let me turn down the volume so the mic isn't
Join us again
picking
next
it up.
week for Have Gun Will Travel.
There.
man has owed a debt to society for 15 years. If you take him now, a child may die. Surely a few days more won't make any difference.
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel. Headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Paladin.
Good afternoon. Any messages for me?
Yes, a telegraph came a few minutes ago. I just sent it up to you. Here you are, sir.
Thank you. Clerk, would you tell Hey Boy I'll be up in my room? I'd like to see him.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, Hey Boy, you're just the one I wanted to see.
Oh, Isa. You enjoy your afternoon walk?
I did. Hey Boy, do you have time to come up and help me pack my gear?
Oh, Isa. Hey, you go away again?
I have to make a trip to Fort Larson in Arizona.
Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, you must be very careful when traveling in Arizona.
Why?
Maybe you meet Daddy-Eye Dick.
Daddy-Eye Dick?
Oh, Isa, Daddy-Eye Dick is very bad man.
Hey Boy, have you been reading Ned Buntline again?
You watch out for that bad man, Mr. Paladin.
Hey Boy, Dead-Eye Dick isn't real. He lives only in Mr. Buntline's imagination.
Oh, no, sir. He really lives in Arizona, really?
Oh, well, all right. Have it your way. Now, I'll tell you what. If I see Dead-Eye riding down the street with his fixings blazing, I'll run into the nearest saloon and hide under the table.
Yes, sir. You'll do that.
I was carrying a message to the commanding officer at Fort Larson. It was a personal message, but not urgent, fortunately. I'd been riding for many hours through a hot, desolate stretch of the Arizona desert. My horse and I both needed water. So when I saw a wagon road leading to a ranch, I turned off to follow it. The ranch house was about 2 miles from the trail, set in a sparse grove of cottonwoods. When I rode into the yard, I found a young woman trying awkwardly and without much success to hitch a horse to a spring wagon. She didn't seem to hear me as I pulled up and dismounted. Need a hand, ma'am? Oh, here now, please, now, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to start you.
No, don't. Oh, thank God for you. That's what I've been hoping and praying somebody'd come along to help me.
Well, look, you come over here in the shade while I do that.
I'm sorry. You don't know how awful it feels to have to.
Oh, no, that's no job for a woman.
My husband and the man had been gone a week, driving from south to San Carlos. I can manage all right alone. Only my baby,
Your baby?
my little boy, he's sick. He's terrible sick. I got to get him to a doctor.
Where do you have to go?
Cotton Willow. That's about 20 miles south.
There isn't a doctor place?
Dr. Murphy's the only one for hundreds of miles hereabouts. Thank the
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
good Lord for him. And thank the good Lord for sending you along to help me. Mister.
I'm glad he did.
Just working on stuff, working on
I'm
stuff.
Mr. Higgins. I never figured myself wanting to go to
Too much
pieces
fun.
like this. I'm so sad. That poor little country.
No, look, Mrs. Higgins, you go get the little boy ready
Yes.
to travel while I finish.
Yes, Nickelodeon.
I'll drive you
Yes. You get it. You were there. Thank you for coming in, Abel. I appreciate it.
I can't understand it, Mr.
And thank you, everybody, for coming in. I appreciate it.
All closed up like that.
He's probably out on a call.
Always, when he has to go out, he leaves a note on the door saying where he is and when he'll be back.
Who now? Now, you wait in the wagon. I'll go into the sheriff's office here. Maybe he'll know where we can find him. How's the boy?
He's quiet now. He's worn out from all that fretting, I guess. Oh, he's so feverish. Doc Murphy will know what to do.
Well, we'll find him. Try not to
I was there when they were written. Thanks, Gandalf. Thanks, bro. Thanks, Gandalf the White.
Sheriff, my name is Paladin. I'm looking for Dr. Murphy.
Yes, Gandalf the Grey. You have no power here.
I'm afraid you can't.
I know.
Took him this morning on a warrant.
I'm just thinking of someone wise.
Well, what are you talking
Who
about?
was that quote then?
Showed up here yesterday
Mr.
with a warrant
Abel.
for the doctor. Nothing I could do. Papers was in order. I had to honor them.
What was he wanted for?
Oh, a killing in Missouri happened a long time ago. But a murder warrant never runs out.
But what about Mrs. Higgins' baby? That child needs a doctor.
Who was that quote?
The boy over to my place.
If you're gonna be such a smarty
There's
pants.
another doctor in 200 miles.
200 miles. Sheriff, I've got a...
Aslan.
About noon.
Aslan, the great wizard.
Marshal is that's taking him in?
Yeah, name is Leo Grange.
Leo Grange. Why, he's nothing but a rotten bounty hunter.
So I've heard.
Great wizard Aslan.
Sure, he takes a deputy commission any place he can wangle one. Grange has been in the business of...
All I know is Santa's in that series.
A man in his custody is...
I've never actually fully. I may have watched that full series.
You don't, Sheriff. I'm going after them and bring that doctor back. That baby needs him.
He was a talking magical lion. I think he came back to life from the dead. I know that.
Constipation is something.
You're sure he doesn't know a little bit of magic?
Be a problem for anyone.
Or is he just the king?
And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Well, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say.
A laxative should be effective, gentle, close to natural acting. A medicine that can be used with complete confidence.
Now, X-Lax has been popular with many doctors and millions of people over the years because pleasant-tasting chocolated X-Lax is effective. Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regular.
Okay.
X-Lax is
If you say so.
close to natural acting, there's no upset. That's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity gently overnight.
Leo Grange and his prisoner had a good 4-hour start on me, and they were traveling fast. When I finally caught up with them, they were making camp for the night. I dismounted and walked toward their campfire.
All right. What do you want?
Put the gun back, Grange.
Right.
I think you remember me. Maybe you'll remember you were smart enough...
I remember that. I knew that.
Gun back, Grange. Do it.
Which is very weird. I don't know. Like,
Dr. Murphy?
Can't Lion Witch in the Wardrobe not have a Christ? Could he just be a cool lion? Could he just be a cool lion and everybody enjoys it? I have no problem. I have no, as an Episcopalian, I have no problem with Christ. I'm just saying that I want a fantasy book to be just a fantasy book. When you read a fantasy book, that's the point of a fantasy book.
For 15 years. Now, surely a few days more won't make any difference. You move and I shoot.
Don't you draw that gun, Grange.
I'm not taking anything from you, Paladin. I'm an officer of the law.
Don't waste that on me, Grange. I know all about you and
No,
your commission.
well.
The fact remains that I am a deputy marshal. This is my prison.
C.S.
If you move
Lewis.
against my orders, it's attempted escape, and I have a right to shoot.
Sure, that's the way you usually manage.
What else did he? What else did C.S. Lewis do?
Be an easy way to make my thousand. It's Both of you keep that in mind.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the
That
law.
silver's coming out real good.
You're butting in.
Well, let me...
What was... What's her eye color? That's the good question.
I'll do it.
Oh, okay. What's Joan of Arc's eye color? I guess I'll just have to make that decision on my own.
Paladin, you're under arrest. You'll make me sick.
You know what? Why am I doing this? When I could just do
Do what
this.
you can for his hand, and we'll get started.
Yes, we're wasting valuable time. You ain't getting away from me. You wait, I'll show you. I ain't leaving you out of my sight, not for a minute, either of you.
Expand it. Bam. Bam.
All right, you go on in, Doctor. I'll take care of the horse.
No, you don't. You're staying together. I can keep an eye on both of you.
We can't waste time arguing. The horse will have to wait, Paladin.
I guess I'm gonna have to make my own decision.
Hello, Clem.
Oh, Doc, thank heaven you got here. Come on in. Come on in.
Where is he, Clem?
Now, wait a minute. Sheriff Fuller, this man Paladin here is under arrest, and I want him jailed.
Oh, please, Mr. Green.
He's under arrest.
I guess
for
blue
interfering
eyes
with
would
the
be
law and
fine.
Assaulting an officer. Now, take him over to the jail and lock him up.
Lock him up. Please, gentlemen, there's no time for this.
Well, there's gotta be. Fuller, do the job you're paid to do, or I'll...
Okay, well, interestingly.
What about this, Paladin?
All right, go on.
Within his rights, Sheriff.
Go on.
All right, Strange. All right. Can it wait till morning? I'll be responsible for him. Huh?
Take his gun.
Yeah. Here, Sheriff. I agree with the doctor. We're wasting...
Yeah, I know that.
Where is he, Clem? Where's the boy? Oh, he's right in
I
there.
knew that.
Right in there. The wife finally got Elizabeth to lay down.
But that's what was his face. That's what Lad wanted, so I was like, okay.
Well, now, hold it.
All
I'm
right.
going along. Come on, Paladin, you too.
What are you talking about?
I meant it. Till I see you behind bars, you ain't getting out of my sight.
Don't be a fool, Grange.
You'll understand I may not be able to make an immediate diagnosis.
You just go on, do what you have to do. And when I get Paladin put away, we'll get on with our business.
You know what? Blue would be fine. Let's go with blue. We'll go with baby blue. Just remember, Pepsi has sociability.
If you're smoking more these days, but enjoying it less, change to Camel. The Camel blend of caustic tobaccos has never been equaled for real smoking satisfaction. Have a real cigarette. Have a Camel. Start to really enjoy smoking again.
It wasn't important to take issue with Leo Grange. All that mattered was the child. So we sat silently through the night while the doctor kept his vigil at the bedside of the little boy. He was grave and concerned. Then finally toward morning he got up and walked to the window. It's almost daylight, Doctor.
Yeah? Well, that means you're practically on your way to jail, Paladin. And Murphy and I can start out again. Now that the doc's done his duty, I'm going to do mine.
Doctor, you said you'd know by morning.
I do. All night long I've been
hoping that what I suspected wasn't true. Paladin, have you been vaccinated?
Oh, yes.
You, Mr. Grange, you've been vaccinated?
That hocus pocus. I guess you'd soon have an Indian medicine man doing his jig around me.
Well, Mr. Grange, you'd better get in touch with your medicine man. This baby has smallpox.
Smallpox?
Hmm? As far as I know, this is the first case in the area. I'll have to start vaccination. Everyone in town, the surrounding country. We can't let this spread.
You mean vaccine?
Yeah. The new supply I know of is at Fort Larson.
Oh, well, I have business there. I'll get it for you. I'll start now.
Paladin, you ain't starting no place except your jail.
Grange, I can abide a stubborn man, but not a stupid one. Don't you realize how serious this is?
Look here, you pushed me just as far as you're going to.
Now, Mr. Grange, you'd better think about saving yourself. Unless we get some vaccine and fast, I can just about promise you, you're a dead man.
Now, that might scare me if I believe you. But it's a trick. You're stalling for time. I'll get the sheriff.
Sheriff? I couldn't sleep. I'm sitting out there all night.
Well, how is he, Doc?
Smallpox.
Oh, no.
I need a supply of vaccine from Fort Larson right away.
Can I go after it?
Have you been vaccinated?
No.
Well, then you can't go. Paladin's a logical man.
Paladin is under arrest.
Oh, now, Grange, in this case...
Sheriff, the law's the law. That badge says you're supposed to enforce the law, and you don't alter the law to suit your convenience.
Come here, Grange. Come here. You look at that child. Look at him. That's smallpox. We don't have a cure for it. Sure as God made little apples, your turn with it is coming.
No, not me.
We can't cure it. We can prevent it with vaccination. When there's been exposure, you, the sheriff, the people in this house, we can, if we work fast enough, ensure a mild attack. It's vaccination. Nothing can save this baby now. It's prayer. But I don't think anybody's going to pray over you things. So if you're interested in saving your skin, get some sense.
I think maybe you mean that.
Doctor, I guess Mr. Grange is ready to alter the law.
Yeah, see now. Today we got the Allen Ranch, the Daly Ranch, and the Glenville School. That ought to about do it.
I guess you've got the whole county vaccinated, Doctor. It's been quite a battle, hasn't it?
Yeah. We didn't have to fight ignorance and superstition. How much easier a doctor's job would be. Oh. Well, might as well look in on the folks here at the sheriff's place.
Hey. Look there.
Dr. Murphy, just a minute. I want to talk to you.
Yes, Mr. Grange?
I want to say so
Thoughts
long.
on the vines for the flowers on the belt? Maybe a silver for those? Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was just in the middle of getting rid of this. Just finishing this, and then I was gonna hit that up. I've got the silver right there, so it's not gonna be difficult to change the color.
Well, we can thank the good Lord for that.
Here, Paladin.
It's not gonna be
What's that?
difficult.
My deputy commission expired 3 weeks ago while I was sick. Well, so long. Thanks again, Doc.
It is. It's just a placeholder for now. That was before I had an idea of what I wanted. And now I have an idea. Now I have an idea.
Well, this may mean that old warrant for my arrest.
I would think that this might be kind of the only, like, actual goal.
15 years ago, I was accused of killing a man. There's
What do I want? Well, I want to do that shirt meme.
Somebody who didn't deserve
Well, I want to get started on my comic book. That's what I really want.
I've been trying ever since.
I want to get started on my comic book. That's what I really want.
Fractures a bone or decides to have a baby or breaks out in spots. Paladin, would you like a job?
Well, sure. What is it?
Bounty hunter.
Bam.
A bounty hunter? Well,
Also, can I ask you a question, Abel?
turn me in, collect that $1,000 on my head. What? Think of a nice little hospital I could set up for the folks in this county.
Dr. Murphy, you have just made a bargain.
Real. Can you actually click that link? Is that link a real link or is it just a bunch of
Here, coffee, Mr.
what?
Paladin.
Thank you,
You need to shout out Real Kazoo
You
Gaming.
home, safe and sound, Mr. Paladin. Hey,
I'm asking if Abel, can you actually click the link or is it just a bunch of? Okay, good. I was just wondering.
you fix him, I bet.
I just wanted to make sure that the link actually was a link, because it's coming up as a bunch of text for me.
Another man did that quite a few years ago.
So I'm like, oh man.
And he discovered vaccines.
Oh yeah, it as far as I've seen, it doesn't work for like. I'll show you. Hold up.
It's a simple fact.
So
to find the way back to normal life.
Abel.
And it's a big but. We are not realizing that.
So, can you click that link, Real Kazoo?
More facilities and equipment than there are. That's a terrible truth, especially if yours is a family compelled to face it personally.
This is also a troubleshooting stream.
Money can buy it. We all must help through generous contributions
Nope.
to our local mental health association or to mental health in care of your post office. Give when a mental health bell ringer comes to your door or to mental health care of your post office. Make it
Do I need to put a space?
Maybe help. Make it soon so that new hospitals.
So it works for Abel.
Nurses and technicians.
Is it because you're on computer?
For the mental health of the nation. The address again, mental health care of your
Okay. I will fix it. I'll fix Nightbot today.
Have gun, will travel.
I'll try to fix Nightbot today.
Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe is produced and directed in Hollywood by
Shush
Frank
you.
Barrett and stars John Daner as Paladin with Ben Wright as Abel.
Look.
Tonight's story was
Look, I just...
for Have Gun, Will
I'm not a tech guy.
Featured in the cast were Frank Cady, Vic Perrin, Lawrence
I
Johnson,
just stream on Twitch. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Have Gun, Will Travel.
Leave me alone. Stop it. Yeah. I'm trying my best, Abel. Trying to be a good host.
You're not being fair to your father if you don't give me an explanation to take back to him. He went to some expense to have me make this trip.
Have Gun, Will Travel. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Whoa, Emily, whoa. Here you are, Mr. Paladin.
Thank you, Alex.
You be wanting me again today, sir?
No, I'm spending the rest of the day up in my room. I have a long, hard trip ahead of me tomorrow. For your trouble, Alex.
Oh, thank you, sir. Lummy, my pleasure. Good day, sir.
Good day, Alex.
Oh my God. Louis, what the heck? Louis?
Oh, hey, boy.
Louis?
What's his name?
Mr. Countryman? Well,
My God. Thank you so much, Louis. What the heck?
back to San Francisco.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you. You didn't have to. I appreciate it. Hello.
School teacher up there, and she doesn't want to come home.
We're just working. I'm just working on this. On this
Would you make sure there's a horse ready for me at the livery?
Joan of Arc character right here for a friend.
I'm going to finish that book I was reading.
So I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the follow, and I hope you enjoy yourself, man. Or I don't know, person. Thank you for being here, and I do appreciate it.
Staring at Kipwood.
We finished that game before I went out.
Oh, he say he find way out of checkmate. He wait till you come back. He plenty tipsy by now.
Oh, no. Hey, boy, go tell him that I was detained, that I won't be back tonight. Let me know when he's gone. I'll be over in the bar.
Oh, yes, Mr. Paladin. Also, while you are very pretty young lady asked for you. She says she wait in bar till you return. She lady from room 401.
If there's anything you wanted to talk about, Louis, what the heck? If you're an artist or anything like that, or you just like art, thank you for coming in and just stopping by and saying hey. We do appreciate it here. Oh my goodness.
Early the next morning, I faced the sun and started my journey under the hire of Mr. Countryman. This afternoon, when I rode into the peaceful town of Vallejo, perched on an arrowhead of land piercing the Napa River where it flows into San Pablo Bay. When I signed the register at the only hotel, the clerk told me I could find Miss Lena Countryman's schoolhouse 3 miles away, just off the North Road on the banks of the river.
All right. If it's nothing special, I'm not gonna. Thank you for just coming in. I do appreciate it.
Miss Countryman?
Yes?
My name is Paladin.
If you're one of the sheriff's men, my answer's still the same. I won't leave Vallejo.
No, your father sent me.
My father?
Chill out and enjoy yourself. We're pretty chill over here, and as far as I know, we're pretty cool.
Is it that?
Yes, very much so. But he doesn't know why your life has been threatened.
I suppose I should have written him. It would have been better coming from me.
Who is threatening you, Miss Countryman?
The people of Vallejo have it in their minds. Some say they've heard it for sure. That Dutch Talbot is on his way to take my life.
Dutch Talbot?
Yes.
The outlaw?
Yes. A wanted man with a big price on his head, so I've heard.
Why do they say this?
It's a long story, Mr. Paladin, and I don't care to discuss it. Besides, there's no need to take up your time. I must be getting home.
What about your father?
Tell him I'm all right, as you can see. Tell him that I'll write and explain. Good afternoon.
Miss Countryman,
Yes?
may I see you home?
Thank you, but I have my buggy. It's out back.
I'd like to ride with you, Miss Countryman. We could talk on the way. You're not being fair to your father if you don't give me an explanation to take back to him. You went to some expense to have me make this trip.
Oh. Forgive me, Mr. Paladin. I've been rude to you.
Not at all, ma'am.
Oh, but I have. You're a gentleman, and I didn't perceive it at first. Your host and gun are misleading. But you're right. I could give you an explanation.
I'll hitch up the buggy.
Thank you.
I'll be ready to leave in a few minutes.
But I'm glad you came and you enjoy yourself over there.
I don't usually take the North Road, Mr. Paladin. There's a wagon trail along the river that's much shorter. You can turn right just up ahead.
All right. How long have you lived in Vallejo?
This is my 3rd year. I came here after I finished school in San Francisco. It's a lovely place. I hope I'll always be here. It offers everything I want or ever will want.
You speak so finely for someone so young.
Perhaps. But I'm fortunate enough to know what I want and appreciate it when I have it. There's an unending stimulation in guiding children and watching them mature. There couldn't be anything more satisfying, whether you're young or old. You can turn here.
All right. Well, you're a dedicated woman, Miss Countryman. But why would Dutch Talbot or anyone else want to take your life?
Well, if he does, he probably thinks I'm responsible for his son's death.
I didn't know he had a son.
The people in this town knew. Poor boy. As I heard it, Jerry Lee's mother died when he was born. Dutch Talbot brought him here to live. To be raised by his brother, Doc. Dutch always came back to see Jerry Lee about once a month. So the law stamped him as a wanted man.
But why would he think that you were responsible for his son's death?
I was taught that a teacher shouldn't love one child more than another. That she should show them all equal consideration. But we can't always live by the book, can we, Mr. Paladin?
No, I guess not.
I loved Jerry Lee. He was 8 years old. I loved him more than any of the other children. I wanted him to have every opportunity available. I wanted him to be the best pupil, the most accomplished, as if he were my very own. That was my
Why are you blocking this road? We've been waiting for you. Throw down the gun, mister. Throw it down.
Gotta get the chain mail.
What do you want with it?
Put it on there.
Sure. Now get down, mister, and mount that horse you have tied him back. I'll drive the buggy.
Who are you? Why are you stopping me?
You wouldn't be Dutch Talbot by any chance.
No chance about it. Now get down.
So, what are you going to do?
Never mind what I'm going to do. You get on that horse. Move. All right. Come, keep him covered. Yeah. Take the back way to Dawkins. We'll be right behind you. Me and Lena Countryman. Who there? All right, Miss Lena. Get out of the buggy.
Why did you bring us here?
Now, you, mister, get off that horse. Come on over here with her. Yeah, stand in front of me. Trump, hide the buggy in the barn. All right. Now, you head for that door. All right, go on in. Doc? Hey, Doc. That's right up, Doc. Hello, Miss Lena.
Mr. Talbot, what's the meaning of this?
Dutch has all the answers. Who's he?
This is Mr. Paladin, a friend of my father's from San Francisco.
What you doing here?
Her father sent me to take her home. He knows that she's been threatened. So do the law officers in this town.
Well, that's why I've been careful to stay out of their way. Everything has worked just fine so far. Except for the fact you had to be along the same day we planned to take her. What are you going to do with him, Dutch? Haven't made up my mind yet.
And what do you intend to do with Miss Countryman?
You got the rope ready, Doc? It's in the room, like you told me. We'll bring some extra for him. There's enough for both. I'll need your help. Come on. All right, into that room. Sit in this chair, mister. You tied up good, Doc. Sit there, Miss Lena. On the bunk bed.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I got something prettier planned for you. A nice clean day.
Oh, hey, Drawberry.
And you caused that
Mira.
You got no right to go
Mirasol. Hold up. Hold up. Mirasol Arts. There we go. There we go. Thank you for the party of one. Thank you, Raiders. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Abel. I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for coming in. I do appreciate it. Thanks for raiding.
Never again. Those pants laying on that trunk.
Goodness.
Were the ones he wore when they pulled him out of the river.
I tried to save him, but it was too late.
You should have learned him how to save himself when he was learning them how to swim.
He was a good swimmer, the best in school.
Then how come he had to drown if you're such a good swimmer?
I don't know. He went out too far, he got cramps or something, I don't know.
You had no right teaching them kids how to swim.
It's for their own protection. The town is surrounded by water. It's important that they know how to swim.
They didn't have to be learned by no teacher before you came along.
There were many deaths from drowning. And there'll be more unless they get proper training.
You and your newfangled notion.
I don't care what you think, Dutch Talbot. I love Jerry Lee. He's the last person in the world I'd bring harm to.
You have no right to love
Yeah,
him.
just doing the chainmail texture right now.
Somebody did, you fool woman.
Bam. I hope you're doing well, Drawberry. Thanks for coming in.
Doc here. He took good interest in him. He didn't need your help.
While you rode the country, ruining his name.
You leave her alone, Dutch. You keep out of this, mister. I've warned you enough. Tie her up, Doc. We'll take her when it gets dark. The people in this town will be mighty grateful to me when they
Thank
drag her
you.
out of
Thank
the
you so
river.
much. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it.
Although North Carolina is famous for tobacco and textiles,
I'm just doing this.
for many other products too. In fact, one of the most important
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I do it. You guys are awesome. You don't have to do that, but thank you.
If you've ever traveled in this vicinity,
It's very sweet of you guys.
immediately. Perhaps the name Fort Bragg might help you. This is a training camp for the 3rd Army's 82nd Airborne Division.
And then you do this.
Combat-readied men. This installation was named for Braxton Bragg, who played a significant
Just
part
put
in
it
the
like
Civil
that.
War as a Confederate general. He was born in Warren County, North Carolina, in 1817, and was a graduate of West Point, with a distinguished record from the Seminole Mexican War.
Hair, and then we're gonna do it like this. Thank you. And let me see if I can say this name right. Mirasol Arts. Thank you so much for rating. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the follow. It's very sweet of you. You didn't have to. I appreciate you. You're awesome and amazing. Let's see what you were doing beforehand. Hold up. Let's see what you were doing beforehand.
President of the Confederacy that Bragg was kept at the head of the Central Army and subsequently able to inflict a crushing defeat on Rosecrans at Chickamauga in September 1863. Then 2 months later came the famous This was another defeat for General Bragg since
Doing the little things, I see. Goodness gracious.
drove Bragg's men from their strong positions defending Chattanooga. This defeat
Burnsy!
again
My man, what you up to, man? What's the burn? How's the burn?
Then in February of 1865,
Or as I like to say, how's the Baverns? Just vibing. Oh man, vibe away. You have permission to just vibe.
Bragg was included in the surrender to Sherman. Bragg's contemporaries described him as a
Vibe away.
who rarely got along with his team.
We're all vibing over here anyway, so it's not going to be too much trouble.
Conduct of his operations. Nevertheless,
Thank you for coming in, Burnsy. I do appreciate it. We all appreciate it over here. Can't wait to see you stream again. It's going to be radical and awesome. Hope your trip went well.
military men, and will continue to do so as long as the American way of life is preserved.
Hope your trip was excellente. Hope it was incredible. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah.
They left us in the room. And for the next few hours, Lena Countryman
Just doing this, and then I've got somebody else's stuff to do, so yeah. But eventually,
She seemed to suffer more from the memory of the
I can't
war
wait.
than the thought
I can't wait till you stream. I'll be there. You know me. Well, I'll be there after 11 o'clock, so I'll try to be there as best I can. If you're still streaming afterwards, after 11, I'll be there.
No, you're trying to free yourself, Mr. Paladin.
If you're deciding to stream today.
And when will that be? That's up to Dutch. And what are you
I'm just
saying,
in the
Mr.
middle of putting all these
think I go
together.
against my own brother? Because you don't
No,
agree with what your brother thinks.
Just put these two together.
Why do you
Just
say that?
merge these
I saw your face this afternoon when you were racking her
two.
with
Select
your
the
remarks.
layers.
You felt sorry for Lena Countryman. You could be right, but
Ma'am.
what can I do about it? Cut me loose. That should kill me. I suppose he would, wouldn't he? You couldn't help her now. I could try.
Right. Pace.
All right. Thanks.
God.
Where would they be?
Sometimes you get a hiccup and a burp, and they culminate to one thing.
All right, I'll need a gun. One in the front.
Heaven! My God! So many wonderful people are here. Yes, confirm. My goodness, Heaven, what are you doing here? Oh my God. Such incredible people. You guys are amazing. You guys are too good. Hold up.
Don't you do it, Trump. I told you to pay back. No,
Bavernsy.
Lena.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. Yay! Finishing that work. Destroying it.
All right, now. Yeah.
You got this. I believe in you.
There we are.
Abel, could you hit him with the, could you hit him with the emotes? Hit him with the I believe in you emote.
I'll have to get a nice stick up the rope.
Just give him a good,
I think Dutch has one of them.
Oh man, we're all doing good. We're just chilling. We're doing the Bavernsy thing where we're vibing. We are vibing. We're just listening to old-timey radio while also doing drawings. So.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, hold up. Alright. Can't even chill out for tier 10. I thought it was tier 1. I genuinely thought it was tier 1.
Are you all right?
And I have you to thank for it. Can I possibly tell you how grateful I am?
No. Don't try.
Why did I have to be known like Dutch Talbot?
I don't know. I'm afraid there'll always be a lot of Dutch Talbots. Not enough.
Yeah.
Selena, you just keep right on teaching those kids to grow up to be
Woo woo. Do that smash. Destroy that smash, brothers. Oh my god, everyone's here! Destroy them on the Smash Brothers. Or CSS? Alright. Yeah. Yeah, do the Smash Brothers. Da 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 da. I'm the Mario.
It's all right, Miss Wong. I was just getting ready to shave.
Come on, it's time to go do the Mario. Casual Smash Sunday. Gotcha. I get it now, Drawberry. Yeah, I got work today. Too much fun.
I want to see him. I planned to anyway this morning, but not until after breakfast.
You have trouble with this man?
No. I'm afraid he isn't going to pay me because I didn't bring his daughter back from Vallejo. Oh, well.
Too much fun.
You'll be happy to learn that
Oh, you know it. I'm going to be working in the deli. I'm going to have so much fun.
It doesn't really matter, Miss Wong.
Just going to be enjoying myself with so much fun. I'm going to be like, oh my God. The fun never ends in the deli department. Ooh, boy. Oh, boy. I know. But we'll have fun later. We'll play some Smash Brothers later. Wait. What? You're gonna lurk? Alright. Alright, Heaven. Thank you for even coming in. I appreciate you. You're awesome. Stay awesome and stay positive.
Tonight's story was specially written for Have Gun Will Travel by Mr. Parrott. Featured in the cast were Russell Arms, Harry Bartell, Charles Lung, and Gene Bates. This is Hugh Douglas, inviting you to join us again next week.
Clean all of it up.
Have Gun Will Travel.
Damn you. It's some big chainmail, but also, it's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. That's some big ass chainmail.
Have Gun Will Travel is brought to you through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
I mean, but smaller chainmail just aesthetically looks a little bit better. That's the thing. Aesthetically, I don't give a fuck what historic accuracy is. But it also took a lot longer till they got that level. Yeah, true. I mean, yes. Thicker metal, but it's so much heavier. It's a ridiculous weight.
Doesn't have long to live. If he learns the truth about his gold mine, it might be the end of him.
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel. headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Over here, hey boy. Oh, Lisa, didn't see you sit over in corner. Slide down in chair, feet up on stool, smoking cigar. Like man with nothing on mind.
Do I give that impression?
Lisa.
Well, you're quite right. You see before you, hey boy, a man enjoying his leisure. Now, what can I do for you?
Oh, here. Telegram.
Thank you. Let's see. Can you get up here? No, he doesn't waste words, does he? Signed Matthew Penrod.
You know this man, huh?
Oh, boy, there was a time when I guess just about everybody knew Matt Penrod, or at least knew about him. Did you ever hear of the Lucky Penny Mine?
The Lucky Penny Mine?
Yeah.
No.
Well, anyway, it's up above Prescott in Arizona territory. Matt Penrod had prospected for years, all over the West, with no luck. And finally, he was down to his last penny, and the story is he flipped the coin. Tails, he'd forget the whole thing, and heads, he'd give it one more try, and the penny came up heads.
Oh, so? That when he found the Lucky Penny Mine, did he make a big strike?
A big one. A lot of gold was taken out of the Lucky Penny. Then poor Matt Devane ran out overnight. Completely gone.
Oh, too bad.
Matt wouldn't believe the mine was worked out, and he kept pouring more money into the thing until... Now he finally went broke. And the last time I saw him, he was still there in that cut-down mine, digging around, looking for that lost vein.
Oh, he don't give up, eh?
No, it's sort of sad, too. I wonder what Matt wants with me. Can you get up here? Well, I certainly can. Hey, boy, let's go pack. When you need someone to do a specific type of job, you hire someone specially trained to do that job. After all, this is an age of specialization. What you may not know is that right now, there are about several 100,000 men and women who have received special training and are searching for employment. These folks, many of whom are veterans, have physical handicaps, which actually often makes them better able to fill specific jobs. They are all highly skilled because they have been taught to make best use of the physical and mental abilities they possess. Looking for help? Contact your state employment service and ask about physically handicapped workers. Employing the physically handicapped is good business. The last time I had occasion to visit the Lucky Penny, it was a ghost mine. So when I arrived, I was surprised to see smoke pouring from the smelter stacks and to hear unmistakable sounds of activity. I rode on to the ornate old house Matt Penrod had built for himself on the side of a hill. It was waiting for me on a wide street porch that overlooked the mine. Hey, Matt. Well,
I'm glad to see you.
how are you, Matt?
Look at it, Paladin. Just look out there, going like a house afire. Come on over here and sit down, son.
Well, Matt, that sure is a beautiful sight, all right. So, you fooled the expert. You found the lost vein, huh?
Darn this thing.
Tell me about it, Matt.
Well, like you see, with me and this here doggone wheelchair, got so I couldn't climb around my diggings anymore. Had to give it up. Yep, I had to call it quits.
Oh, not you, Matt.
Yep. Then one day this fella come along, said he'd heard about the mine, wanted to know if he could look around. I had him sized up for a real dude, but I said, sure, go ahead. Well, Paladin, if you can go poking around in them shafts, we'll take that lost vein.
Well, you always said it was there, Matt.
Yep. Sure wish I was able to get a look at her. You know something? You know what this thing's name is? Penny.
Yeah.
Oh, Penny.
Blech.
You see? Lucky Penny.
Sorry.
Anyway, he come to me with a proposition to work the mine. He take over, we go south. It's all right with me right now, because I just like to see her going.
Yeah. Had almost sneeze.
One bad thing, though. You remember Charlie Hodges?
Sure. He was superintendent who was with you for so long.
Yep. Well, Charlie and Miss Joe just couldn't seem to hit it off. Couldn't work together. Wasn't anything I could do about it, Paladin. It just turned out that Charlie had to go.
That seems a shame.
Sure was. Sort of took the shine off the whole thing. But now there's something else.
What's that?
I'm good.
Our first shipment went out about 3 weeks ago, headed for the mint. But we lost it.
Lost it?
Yeah? Between the mill and the railroad, they tell me.
You mean it was held up, robbed?
So they say.
Have you called in the law?
No, I don't want the law in on this. That's why I sent for you. It ain't so much I want to know who did it. I just have to know who didn't. And I want you to prove he didn't have nothing to do with it.
Who?
Charlie Hodges.
Oh, Matt, surely you don't think...
No, of course I do. But then trying to tell me he did. Joe Penny and some of them others pointing the finger at him. And I ain't going to have it. When you get to work, Paladin, you prove Charlie didn't have nothing to do with it.
I don't think that'll be very hard, Matt. Will I have a chance to meet this, Penny?
And he's here now. Said he had to go east on a buying trip. I don't know. But you get to work.
All right, Matt.
Look at that mine, Paladin. Going like a house afire.
It was late in the day when I left Matt's house. But I decided to swing around and have a look at the mine. That wasn't easy. A high wall completely surrounded the place. I followed the wall until I found a gate. The sign said, keep out, but I somehow didn't believe it. The gate was
All right. What else do I need with this?
That's far enough. Can't you read?
Yeah?
It says keep out. That was your warning, mister. That shot was aimed over your head. If you show up here again, I'll send a bullet through you.
I see.
Understand?
No, but I hope to. Very soon. Come on, boy. A fortress mine was an unusual thing in that part of the country, and I began to wonder just how much old Matt knew about his Lucky Penny operation. The hotel in town was musty from its years of disuse, but it was open for business, so I checked in and went up to my room. I tried to figure just where to start to prove that Charlie Hodges did not steal the Lucky Penny's gold shipment. Yes?
Paladin?
Yes?
Remember me?
Charlie Hodges.
I happened to be in town when you rode through today. I thought I recognized you.
I'm glad you did, Charlie. Come on in. I saw Matt this afternoon.
Oh, what'd you think?
I looked old, tired, but he's happy.
Yeah, he's happy. Maybe after all, that's what's important.
Well, go and sit down, Charlie.
Oh.
Hey, Charlie, Matt wants me to check that robbery of his gold shipment.
Oh?
Charlie, he wants me to prove that you didn't do it.
That'll be easy. I didn't.
That convinces me. You have any idea who did, Charlie?
Well, as near as I can figure, nobody.
What do you mean?
I don't see how anybody could steal the gold. Because I don't see how there could be any gold.
Huh?
Well, the Lucky Penny's worked out.
No, they're working the mine right now. Look out the window. You can see the fire from the smokestack. They must be on a 24-hour schedule.
That's what's got me baffled. Paladin, I know the Lucky Penny like I know the inside of my hand. And I know a worked-out mine when I see one. That vein didn't just default, it quit.
Matt doesn't think so.
I know.
What about this Joe Penny?
Yeah, we didn't get along right from the start. But funny thing, he saw to it that I never had a chance to check out that vein he discovered.
But even helpless as he is, how could anyone fool an old miner like Matt?
Well, Matt isn't the man he used to be, Paladin. You know, besides, a man believes what he wants to believe.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, did you ever meet this Joe Penny?
No.
Believe me, he's just a cheap crook.
You know what he's up to?
I think so.
Investment swindle?
Sure, he wants to make the Lucky Penny look like a going outfit so the suckers will want a piece of it.
And he had to fake the hold-up to explain away why there's nothing to show for all the activity. Huh?
Exactly. The worst thing, when he collects his boodle, he's going to beat it. Leave the old man helpless. Paladin, I don't want to see that happen.
Well, we'd have to prove it. Prove they're faking the operation. The only way to do it is get inside. I tried it, and I didn't get very far. What can we do, Charlie?
Well, you know, Paladin, I've been thinking about this, and there is a way. There's an old tunnel starts outside that wall. It's been sealed off from the main shaft, but it won't take much of a charge to clear it.
Well, why don't we give it a try? Go out there first thing in the morning.
Sure, I'm willing. I'll have the dynamite with me.
How long since this tunnel's been here?
Oh, a long time. Used to be the east portal before we abandoned it. I bet even Matt's forgotten about it. Hold it. Here's where she's sealed off. Oh, give me that dynamite.
Here.
You got the cap?
Uh-huh. When you find your spot, I'll choose them.
All right. Now, let's see. Well, about here will make her fall, right?
Right. Once they hear the blast up there?
Oh, not enough. You got her crinked yet?
Yeah, ready to go.
All right, now get back a ways. You better get down on your belly.
All right. Make a short fuse, Charlie. When you light it, move fast.
Yeah. Well, there she is.
Very pretty, Charlie.
I used to be considered one of the best powder monkeys in the West. Glad to know I haven't lost my touch. Come on, let's go.
I was happy to remember that Charlie knew the lucky penny like the inside of his hand. It was all a bewildering maze to me, but somehow we eventually reached the main portal, and we were able to look out on the yard where the mill and refinery were located.
Looks like we made a mistake when we figured to disguise ourselves in these mining.
Oh, those men out there look more like Barbary Coast riffraff.
See such a bunch of plug uglies. Look, all those that ain't in the poker game have rifles over their shoulders.
Hey, you smell that?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's chlorine gas. They got that refinery running full blast.
Is there any way we can get over there?
Yeah. If we make it past those rifles, we can duck behind the slag dump and get around the back way.
Come on. Take off that miner's hat. It makes you conspicuous.
All right, come on. We made it.
Yeah. Wonder why they have no rifle guarding this spot.
I guess he stepped over to take a hand in the poker game. Hey, you know, Paladin, I'm confused.
Why?
Well, some of that slag we passed is hot, like it was fresh dumped.
Well, that would mean they're going through the whole smelting process?
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't have to do that just for show, would they?
Oh, I can't see why. Is that your gun?
Yeah.
We'll have to shoot our way out if we get caught, but I want to try to get to that storage vault over there.
Where is that?
That iron shed, see?
Oh.
The heavy door on it? All right, come on.
Yep.
Hey, we're in luck. We can walk.
Ooh, Charlie, look at that.
Gold bars, real gold.
Hey, Maxie, what's it?
Oh, they see us.
Do we shoot?
No, better to run. Follow me.
You're smoking more these days, but enjoying it less, change to Camel. The Camel blend of caustic tobaccos has never been equal for real smoking satisfaction. Have a real cigarette. Have a Camel. Start to really enjoy smoking again.
The rifle bullets began to bounce all around us, and suddenly we had a whole army on our tail. I kept my eyes on Charlie's feet and ran around a slag dump, across the yard, and into the mine shaft. And then it was dark. And I followed the sound. We climbed up, slid down, twisted, turned.
All right. We can stop now. It's taking a while to find us here. I used a shortcut.
You mean you actually know where we are?
Yeah, number 3 shaft. There's some storage chambers here, powder magazine, tools, things like that.
You suppose we could find a lantern?
I think so. Flag chamber's right down here. Hey, Paladin, that was gold, wasn't it?
It sure was.
Oh, baby. That landing should be here.
You really know your way around this lucky penny, don't you?
Yeah, I thought I knew all there was to know about it, but it kind of got me baffled now. Oh, here's one. Wait, I'll light it up.
Need any help?
No. There we are.
That's cheerful.
Hey, Paladin.
What?
Look, this is general storage.
What do you know about that? Oh, there must be tons and tons of that stuff piled up in here.
Gold watch case, gold rings,
Gold loving cups and gold chains.
gold
Hey,
spoons.
look at this. There's gold tooth.
Oh,
Hey, you know, Charlie, all of a sudden the operation of the lucky penny isn't quite so baffling.
it is to me.
I sure have to hand it to Joe Penny. He had quite an idea.
Well, if you get this, you tell me, will you?
The way I see it, Joe is using the lucky penny to fence stolen gold. This must be sort of a clearinghouse for gold loot from petty thefts and robberies all over the country. Joe buys it cheap, runs it through the smelter, comes out legitimate. Nice, clean gold bars, acceptable to the mint.
You know about that. You think that's it, huh?
I'm sure of it. It's pretty smart.
Yeah, maybe not so smart. He got found out.
Yeah, we found him out, but right now we're in this mine with a whole army of his riflemen after us. We may never have a chance to prove it.
I don't want to prove it.
Why not?
Well, you know and I know that old Matt hasn't got many days to live. Can you imagine what it'd do to him if this story came out?
Well, you're right, Charlie, but we can't let them keep this up.
Let's just spoil their little game. Scare them off. Run them out. Paladin, powder magazine's right over here. Load up with as much of the stuff as you can carry. We can start here with general storage.
The stick of dynamite sealed the entrance to general storage, and then we retraced our steps through the mine, blasting shut every tunnel and chamber where the loot was stored. The noise echoed and re-echoed, and the whole hill began to shake. And when we reached the portal, we saw the riflemen in full retreat across the yard. Charlie tossed his last stick of dynamite after them. As to a man, they went over the high wall. That evening, I called on Matt Penrod. I merely assured him that I was convinced beyond any doubt that Charlie was innocent.
Well, I sure think it, Paladin. Of course, I knew Charlie never done it, but I just had to prove it. I sure wish Charlie'd consider coming back to the lucky penny.
Matt, what about this Joe Penny?
Oh, I had notes from Joe. That buying trip he went on, he ran into some sort of difficulty. He's going to be detained a long time. 2 to 5 years, he said.
Oh, I see. Well, I think Charlie would be happy to come back.
It'd be worth his while, the way things are popping at the nine. Yeah. Guess I'm a silly old man.
Yeah.
If you don't know what it means to me, to hear reports like this, hear the sound of the lucky penny.
Getting up
like
just a
this morning.
second.
Yeah, I'm kind of quiet tonight, though. But this morning, with all that blasting going on, yes, sir, Bob, I could tell things was really a-humming.
That's right, man. Things were really humming. Oh, Miss Wong.
Just finished cleaning your room, Mr. Carlota.
Very nice.
Oh, thank you. You had nice breakfast in dining room this morning?
Oh, yes, I did. Don't tell anyone, but I had big steak,
Which dish?
3 eggs,
Yes?
hash brown potatoes,
Hash browns.
and hot biscuits,
Oh,
dripping butter.
my, you eat too much. You get piping fat.
No danger, Miss Long. The only good meals I get are those here at the Carlton, and that isn't very often since I'm away most of the time.
Yes, oh, Mr. Carlota and Macy Wong from China you live on Bureau Dresser.
Oh, yes, that's a special penny, Miss Long.
What?
Came in the mail yesterday with some very sad news. A friend of mine passed away.
Oh, so sorry.
Yeah. Wonderful old gentleman. He remembered me in his will.
Oh, you inherit some money?
Yeah. That penny.
Just one penny?
That's all.
Oh.
But it's very special. A lucky penny.
Oh, you supposed to bring you
Okay.
luck?
Maybe.
I thought scene 13. Okay. Hey, it's all good. We'll see. See if it works. See if it works.
Have guns. Will travel.
Ooh.
Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and
I will look at it later.
John Daner as Paladin.
Because I also
with Ken
have
Knight as Hayboy,
to
and
work
Virginia
on
Gregg as
fucking
Miss Wong.
Nightbot.
Tonight's story was specially written for Have Gun Will Travel by Ann Dowd. Featured in the cast were Ralph Moody, Joseph Cranston, and Joseph Kearns. This is Hugh Douglas inviting you to join us again next week when CBS Radio presents Have Gun Will Travel.
Yeah, Temple Watch Repairs. This is the place. May I help you, sir? Yes, can you do anything about this here? What is it? Well, it's a wind-up radio. The crank's there on the side, but the spring's broken or something. Try winding it up. All right. Never seen one of these before. A wind-up radio, huh? Take it to a radio repairman. I did, but he said to bring it to you. What do you do with it, anyway? Well, I carry it around with me. Like to listen to Arthur Godfrey, Gary Moore, Art Linkletter, Bing Crosby, and Rosemary Clooney. They're all on CBS Radio each weekday. I know. I'm partial to them myself. But I'm afraid I can't help you with the radio. Why don't you get yourself one of those little transistor jobs? Yeah, I guess I'll have to. Well, thanks anyway. Oh, do you have the time? Yeah.
I don't want to put a bullet in you, but if you harm that boy, I'll have to. Just stand where you are.
Have Guns. Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel. Headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Oh, Mr. Paladin?
Oh, hello, hey boy. Look at... Wow, who's this?
Oh, this is the young gentleman come to see you.
Oh,
Yes, sir. He come looking for you. He say it's very important.
well. What's your name, young man?
Justice? You sure you're Mr. Paladin?
Yes, I am.
Here,
Well, what's this?
$1.61. I want to hire you.
Hire me?
Uncle Muncie says he was a gunfighter and worked for money.
Almost forgot the lace.
Yes, sir.
Almost forgot the
I live with
lace.
Oh, I see. And, well, just what is it you want to hire me for, Dusty?
You got to keep him from killing Mr. Big.
Mr. Big?
He's my dog, and Uncle Muncie and Peter, they're going to shoot him.
Oh, well, now, why would they want to shoot him?
Well, because they said he's no account and shiftless. But he ain't, Mr. Paladin. Honest, he ain't.
Uh-huh. Where do you live, Dusty?
About 30 miles south in the hills.
30 miles. That's a day's ride. How did you get here?
I run off. I took all my money and my mule, and I run off.
And you came to San Francisco by yourself?
Yes, sir.
Well, Dusty, you know, your uncle may be very worried about you.
He ain't worried about nothing. Most likely he'll give me another licking when I go back.
No, he couldn't be all that bad.
He is so. You ain't gonna help me, are you? You ain't gonna help me none at all.
Hey, boy.
Yes, sir.
Get a room for Dusty and charge it to my account. He's going to need a good night's sleep before we start back in the morning.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Paladin. Right away.
You mean you're gonna help Mr. Paladin?
That's right, Dusty. I'll ride back with you and we'll talk to them about Mr. Big.
Thanks a lot.
Wait a minute. There's just one thing, Dusty.
Yes, sir?
Here. I want you to keep this $1.61. You might need it.
Smoking more now, but enjoying it less.
Have a real cigarette. Have a Camel.
So good.
Have a Camel cigarette.
So rich.
Have a real cigarette. Have a Camel.
So mild.
Have a Camel cigarette.
And here's the reason why.
Best tobacco makes the best smoke.
Have a Camel cigarette.
You can say that again.
Best tobacco makes the best smoke. Have a Camel cigarette.
If you're smoking more these days, but enjoying it less, then change to Camel, the best tasting cigarette of all.
Have a Camel.
Start to really enjoy smoking again.
The ride back to Uncle Muncie's took most of the next day. The sun was setting by the time we saw the little shack Dusty called home. A dog was tied to a nearby tree, and a man was standing in the cluttered yard, watching us ride in.
That's Uncle Muncie, Mr. Paladin. And that's Mr. Big over there.
Ooh,
Where you been, boy?
you came to San Francisco to see me, Mr. Muncie.
This is Mr. Paladin.
Paladin. Ain't no gunfighter gonna stay around here, so you just get...
Just hold on a minute. Don't you want to know why Dusty came to see me?
Don't matter why. You run off, that's all. Mixed all his stores. Now get off that mule, boy. You got a lot of work to catch up on.
Will you promise me you won't kill Mr. Big?
I don't make no bargains with you, young'un. Now get off that mule.
Hey, now, wait a minute. That'll be just enough for that, Muncie.
I told you to get, Paladin. This boy's my kin, and I'll do with him what I want. You remember that, boy. You hear?
I told you that'd be enough of that.
You get your hands off me. Why,
Hey!
you...
What's going on out here?
Peter, get your rifle.
I wouldn't if I were you, Jeter.
Who's he? He's a stinking gunfighter. That's who his name's Paladin.
Paladin.
Yeah.
What's he doing there?
Old Dusty brung him back, and he's going to get a beating for it he'll never forget. Now, you hear that, boy?
You're wrong, Muncie. Dusty,
Yes, sir?
you're coming with me.
Where to, Mr. Paladin?
Back to San Francisco.
You got no right to do that. He's my kin, and I aim to keep him.
For what? So you can beat him? Make him do your chores? I don't think so, Muncie. You're not going to have the chance.
I'll get you for this, Paladin. Me and Jeter, we'll fix you real good.
We better get Mr. Big, Dusty. We have to be moving. As soon as the fire dies down, we better turn in. We'll start for San Francisco in the morning.
I'm right sorry about making so much trouble, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, don't you worry about it, Dusty. It'll work out.
Yes, sir.
What about your mother and father, Dusty? Do you remember them?
No, sir. I was only 2 when they died, so I never knowed them. Uncle Muncie, he says they was no count. He says that about most everybody there.
Uh-huh. How about Mr. Big? How did you get him?
Well, he come around one day about a year ago, looking all hungry and skinny, so I gave him some food. He took to me right off, and I kept him. Seen him scratch and stuff.
Well, why did your uncle threaten to shoot him?
Oh, I expect most of Mr. Big jumped at him one day when Uncle Muncie was fixing to whip him. He'd have killed him right then, only when he went for his gun, I took Mr. Big and we run off on the hill.
Did your uncle go after you?
No, sir. Me and Mr. Big were in the stars out there. So we had to go back home.
What happened then?
Uncle Muncie tied Mr. Big to a tree and told me he was going to shoot him. Every day he told me that. And him and Peter would laugh at me when I started crying.
So you came after me, huh?
Yes, sir. I'd have took Mr. Big along with me, you know. I couldn't get him loose.
I see.
I didn't like it none when he was in Kyle.
Yeah, I've noticed.
When he and me run off in the hills that time, Kyle would howl, and I'd get scared some. But Mr. Big, he'd get up real close to me, and everything would be all right.
Dusty, aren't there any neighbors around here? Someone you could have gone to?
Only the Thompsons. They got a place not far from here.
Why didn't you go there?
Well, I don't know them very good. Just seen them once or so. Besides, Uncle Muncie would beat me good if I'd have done that. He don't like me talking to folks.
Does your uncle beat you very often, Dusty?
Yes, almost every day.
I see.
Mr. Paladin, I think he is some besides Kyle. He's getting kind of funny.
Yeah, maybe you're right, but I'll take a look.
Don't move, Paladin.
What?
There's 2 rifles pointed right at you.
Uncle Muncie.
Now, you just take off your gun belt and drop it for the fire there, Paladin. We'll do it. That's fine. Come on, dear. I told you we'd get you, Paladin. I told you that.
No, Mr. Big, no! Get him, Paul! Mr. Big!
Why, you.
Look out, boy! He's got a gun!
Good boy, Jeter. That ought to keep him still. Did you see that? He had a Derringer hit on him. Why, the dirty lad.
You killed Mr. Big!
I should have killed him a long time ago.
You killed Mr. Big!
Now, you shut up, kid. You shut up. You hear? You're going back home, boy, where you belong. Come on, Jeter, let's go. Should I put a bullet in Paladin? No, just leave him be. The coyotes will get him. Come on.
It's no surprise to anybody that the attractive and inexpensive new radios have proved popular. It's no surprise, that is, to anyone who listens to CBS radio. With so much in the way of music, comedy, drama, variety, and news coming your way every day on CBS radio, more than one radio around the house is more than a convenience. It's almost a necessity for anyone who has a daily routine. The man of the house wants to come home to an attractive home and an attractive wife. But household chores in themselves are rarely inspirational. The smart homemaker is one who refuses to let her regular responsibilities get her down. She gets her work done every day, but she gets her entertainment in, too. She has a radio in the kitchen as well as the living room. Chances are she has a portable radio as well to follow her from one task to another around the house. She knows why the inexpensive new radios are so popular, and she knows the value of CBS radio, too.
He's coming around, Morgan.
Get him some water, Captain.
Yeah.
Oh. Easy now, mister.
Where?
So, who are you? I'm Thompson. Morgan Thompson. This is my wife. Somebody hit you awful hard, mister.
Yeah. Well, how'd you find me?
We heard a shot. Went out looking, found you laying by a campfire.
Here, Marcus.
Yeah. You better drink this water, mister.
Yeah. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. What's your name?
Paladin.
You know, we were afraid you'd fractured your skull at first, but well, it looks like you're going to be all right.
I've got to get up.
I'm getting hungies. Oh no, I'm getting the hungies. I'm getting the hungies, everybody. I don't know. What am I gonna do?
I think they took Dusty, and I've got to...
What will I do about the
Here's
hungies?
Muncie's nephew.
Muncie? Oh, you mean that old coot lives a mile or so down the road?
That's right. The boy is his nephew.
Oh, I know, Morgan. Dusty must be that little boy we saw peeking through the trees at us that day. Remember?
Yeah. Well, what's he got to do with all this?
Well, I was taking him back to San Francisco. Muncie and his son Jeter had tried to stop us.
How come you were taking him to San Francisco?
Because I didn't like the way Muncie and Jeter were treating the boy. They had him frightened half to death.
How?
They took pleasure in beating him and made him do most of the work around the place. Threatened to kill his dog, which they finally did.
Well, I'll be. You mean they beat the boy?
Yeah. He's had his share of whippings.
Morgan, something ought to be done about that.
Yeah, and he's in for another one. I don't stop it now.
No, you just lie back there.
Yeah, but...
Can't do any riding till morning.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Here's one thing, though, mister. You're not going after that boy alone. I'm going with you. Feeling any better, Miss Paladin?
Yeah, some. I want you to know I appreciate what you and your wife did for me, Mr. Thompson.
Oh, you forget it. Anybody would have done the same.
Well, maybe. But I could have died out there.
Yeah. Looks to me like that's what Muncie and Jeter figured
Zips.
to do.
I hope they haven't hurt that boy.
33. All right, Zips 33.
That's their shack up ahead.
Yeah.
Glad you're here. Hope you enjoy yourself. Well,
maybe it's too early for him
takes
to be
a
up.
sweet time.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look there. No, in the back. Come on.
Waving the giant, big-ass white flag.
Oh, no. All right, you hold it.
I could make
Keep
that
your
wooden
hands
pole.
off that boy.
But yeah, I could make that. I'll make that wood because that'd
you last night,
be heavy as
Probably would have
fuck.
here and his wife hadn't found me.
I thought I seen you somewhere before.
That's right, Muncie. We're neighbors.
It'll be
If
fine.
I'd known how you've been treating this boy, I'd have
Thank
been
you for
over here
coming
before
in.
now.
I do appreciate it.
You're all up
I hope you enjoy your stay, and we hope to see you later. Zips 33.
But not a beating, Muncie.
Yes, a beating. He's been crying and carrying on about that cussed dog. All night he done that. He's going to get a whipping for it. And you ain't going to stop me this time, Paladin.
Jeter.
Huh?
Turn that boy loose.
Do what?
Now.
Send them a follow. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Dusty, get on my horse.
Yes, sir.
Well, now, you got no right. This is my property, and that boy's my kin.
We got a right, Muncie, when anybody treats a boy the way you treat him.
He belongs here, and you ain't going to take him.
This whole thing is going to be turned over to the law.
No, you ain't taking him.
Come on, Mr. Thompson.
I'll kill you, Paladin.
You...
Look what you done. You killed him. You killed Paul.
You saw what happened, Jeter. I had to shoot him.
You didn't have to. You didn't.
What did you expect me to do? Let him shoot me in the back?
I wish he had.
It's all on account of that stinking little kid. He brung this on us.
You're wrong, Keeter. You brought it on yourself.
Get him out of here. And I'll never bring him back.
You know, Jeter, I think that's the smartest thing you've said. It's just too bad your pa didn't say it a long time ago.
Dave, about those trees you took down. I'd help cut them up for part of the wood.
As soon as I feel better, Ed.
What's wrong?
Had nagging backache lately with sleepless nights. Feel tired out.
Just the way I felt with backache. Better try to get relief.
How?
Try Doan's pills.
Right. Doan's pills are an analgesic and mild diuretic to the kidneys. Nagging backache, also headache, dizziness, and muscular aches and pains, may come on with overexertion, emotional upset, or everyday stress and strain. Doan's pain-relieving action is often the answer, and they also offer mild diuretic action through the kidneys. So if nagging backache is making you feel worn out, tired, and miserable, with restless, sleepless nights, don't wait. Try Doan's pills, used successfully by millions for over 60 years. See if they don't bring you the same welcome relief. Get Doan's pills today. To save money, buy Doan's big economy size.
Oh, Mr. Wong.
Oh, hey, George.
You see Mr. Paladin?
Oh, he told Mr. Wong he's going out.
Oh. No, he has dinner engagement with a young lady who's waiting for him in dining room.
Oh. Hey, boy. Mr. Wong forget.
Forget what?
Mr. Paladin told Miss Wong to tell her boy, tell young lady, he'll be late for dinner. He said he must go shopping.
Yeah, it's clip art.
He was talking of young
Yeah,
lady.
it's I'm sorry, it's Clip Studio.
Oh,
it's Clip Studio. It came with my tablet. It's okay. It works. Hashtag it works.
Mr. Paladin, come back.
Ah, sure.
Hashtag it works.
Hey, boy.
Good evening. Mr. Paladin.
Blam.
A young lady waits for you, sir.
Good. I'll join you in a few minutes, but first I want you to see this gift I got for Dusty.
Hashtag it works.
Not understand.
Well, a part of Dusty's family is in this box here.
It's an okay program. It's not. I wouldn't like
That's right.
call it the best
Dusty
program.
and his new
It's-
parents, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, are coming here tomorrow, and I want Dusty to have the rest of his family.
Hey, boy, still not understand. Maybe you show me what is in box, huh?
Oh, all right, hey, boy, but be careful now. He's pretty ferocious.
At least
Yeah.
it's not fire alpaca.
You know, it's marked. It's marked exactly.
At least it's not a fire alpaca. Okay.
I looked all over San Francisco before
I didn't know that hashtag exists, but
Little boy be very happy.
I hope so, hey,
Okay.
boy.
At least it isn't a fire alpaca.
Pepsi-Cola refreshes without filling. Why? Because it's
That's
truly
a
light.
quite a long hashtag. That would be
Wait,
hard to
there's more.
use.
Yes, ice-cold Pepsi is the delicious refreshment that goes great at a picnic or a party.
But, George.
And Pepsi goes fast. People like it, so keep plenty handy. There.
Oh, you did fine. Except for one thing.
Well, I mentioned
But
the
I've
lightness
seen
and how
long
Pepsi refreshes and how
hashtags
fast it
before.
goes.
You left out Pepsi sociability. You know the
Use them wisely.
Okay, I can't sing.
I can.
Use them wisely, Zip 33.
Keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing Pepsi. Stay young and debonair. Be sociable. Have a Pepsi.
Well, at least I can say this. Pick up an extra carton of Pepsi today.
Please do.
Have Gun Will Travel. Created by by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed in Hollywood by Frank Parrott and stars John Daner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy and Virginia Gregg as Miss Wong. Tonight's story was specially written for Have Gun Will Travel by Ray Kemper.
Oh, yeah.
Featured in the cast were Vic Perrin, Sam Edwards, Bartlett Robinson, Shirley Mitchell, and Richard Beals. This is Hugh Douglas inviting you to join us again next week when CBS Radio presents Have Gun Will Travel.
Just making the fabric work. You know, fun times. Yeah, fun times.
You're wrong, Miss Isles. I am a music lover. But we're not on a Sunday picnic. There are killers loose in this area. And we have to take every precaution.
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel. Headquarters of a man called Paladin. Hey, boy. Hey, boy. I hate to do this to you, hey, boy, but
Oh, can I, Esau. You want a room?
I have a room, thank you.
Mr. Paladin. Hey, boy, just close eyes at midnight for catnap.
At midnight? Some catnap. It's now 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock?
What are you doing on the desk?
Night clerk gets sick, hey, boy, take over. Hey, Mr. Paladin, why you have suitcase? You leave town?
Yes, I'm taking the early stage, hey, boy.
Oh, you get nice walk?
Well, Mr. Alonso of the New World Music Company has asked me to find 2 friends of his who are missing in Arizona.
Yeah, plenty room in Arizona territory to get lost.
I know, hey, boy, but these people should be easy to find. Professor Oscar Isles and his niece, they sell harmoniums. I don't imagine they've passed unnoticed.
Harmonium? Well, what's that?
There's a parlor organ, hey, boy. Plays music. You've seen them.
Esau.
Oh, by the way, I have 2 tickets to the opera tomorrow night, but I won't be able to make it. Here. Why don't you take Miss Wong?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Paladin. Hey, boy, always want to see opera. Now, what is opera like?
Well, it's somewhat like a play with music.
Oh, many dancing girls?
No, I'm afraid not. Not in this one, anyway.
Oh.
But I understand the soprano carries enough weight to make up for several dancing girls.
Oh, then, hey, boy, what's soprano?
I'm afraid you'll have to, hey, boy. You can't miss her.
Crisis in Paris. Debate in the United Nations. Trouble in Turkey or Tokyo. North, south, east, or west. CBS News covers the news. Because CBS News maintains large staffs of crack correspondents to give eyewitness immediacy to their reports. No station that lacks affiliation with a network
Go
under
to
the
pauses.
CBS
Go
Radio
to pauses.
give you
My
this
goodness,
eyewitness
how
credit.
you been?
If you want to know what's going on
You been
now,
killing it?
If you prefer your news new, not warmed over, you're already making a habit
You
of
been
CBS
enjoying
News
it?
on CBS
Hope
Radio.
you been
You
good.
are exercising selective
Also, good
judgment.
morning.
With
I
hundreds
don't
of
know if it's
correspondents
morning.
at or within
It's
fast
still
flight of all major world
it's
developments,
12 o'clock over
CBS
here,
News
so
treasures
it's not
continued coverage
morning
of what happens
anymore.
wherever
but,
it happens.
You
The
get
first word
it.
in
You get
speed,
it.
the last word in accuracy. Yours on this station, daytime or night.
Oh
All the
man.
world's happenings reported by the famous names
Shit,
of CBS
yeah.
News. Your ticket of
You doing a
admission to full
commission or
understanding
you
of
just
history and the
doing it for
happenings
personal
is
stuff?
this station's affiliation with CBS Radio.
always
The
share
hardest
for the
part
class
of my journey
if
to
you want.
Arizona was the seat of the stagecoach. At the end of the line,
I'm always
the
up.
rattle of the
I'm
horseman
always
felt
up
soft
if you
and
wanna
relaxing.
if you wanna hit a
Dr.
hot
Oscar Isles
link
and his
down.
niece Elsa were well remembered at places where they had given concerts displaying the New World Harmonium. Their trail led into rugged country.
Oh,
Late one
nice!
afternoon,
Tentacle
I looked down to a
R.
valley.
Fun.
Saw a wagon careening along a rough road.
Pretty adult. Ooh, well, you can put it. You can send the link in the NSFW chat if you want.
The young woman beside him
It's up to you. I would very much want to see it because I love supporting artist friends.
Hang on to the
I love
reins.
supporting all my art friends now that I have very recently had.
Stop firing that rifle.
I have so many now.
Well, whoever
It's
they
crazy.
are, they've pulled up. They're just waiting.
It's like showing your work.
Uncle is only trying to protect us.
If they had planned to harm you, ma'am, the way your uncle was
Okay.
firing that gun wouldn't have stopped them.
You don't have to
Let's
do
just
it
wait and
now.
see what
I
they have
would
on
just
their
love
mind.
to see it.
One of them is riding toward us.
Now, don't worry, my dear. I have him in my sights.
Which is about the safest place for him to be. Now, just put the gun down.
Howdy. Can I talk to you? I'm a U.S. Marshal.
Right on up,
that?
Marshal.
Looks like a criminal to me.
Looks don't always make the law, man.
Just like
My name is Paladin, Marshal.
Well, I'm John Bone. I didn't mean to stampede these folks, Paladin. Only wanted to tell them something.
We saw you. You were chasing us.
No, ma'am. Just waiting for the gent here to run out of ammunition or the horses to run out of steam. Me and my men were...
Those are your men, those savages?
Indian scouts.
I'm in the middle of
They're
doing
about the finest
this.
trackers you can get. Let the Marshal talk.
Thank you, Paladin. We've been trying to ride down a renegade named Chivlaro. Heard that him and his half
Ah,
to
goodness.
do some raiding.
Goodness
So,
gravy.
ma'am. They're all
That's
known
so
killers, too.
sweet. I love
We
our
want you to make
trades.
for a
I've never
town,
done
of course.
one, but
This
I
Chivlaro
love
is supposed to
them.
be close by.
I
I'm not
always
sure
love
where
looking at
the
them.
last place they were seen.
Well,
Maybe we
thank
can
you.
tell 'em from there, but getting kind of late
Thank
in
you
the
very
day.
much.
Guess we'll have to make camp.
Appreciate
You mind if we camp with you? Then I'll escort these folk to the nearest settlement tomorrow.
Glad to have you, Paladin. I'll tell
I
my
mean,
man.
I've been told.
Professor
I've
Isles,
just
we can
never
make
done it
camp here
personally.
If you don't mind.
Never had a friend
I did. And
to
you're
really
on
do
the
it
site his
with.
niece, right?
Yes, but... Well, how did you know?
Mr.
May
Alonso
have
in
done
San
it with-
Francisco
No.
worried about you. You're long overdue.
No, that
They need
doesn't
to find
count.
you.
Not really.
Where have you been?
Well,
That's just
we
with
kept
my
getting lost
sister.
and having to start over.
That
Uncle
doesn't
Oscar, I
count.
told you we should have written.
But I want to surprise you, Alonzo.
Ah, well, we better make camp.
Those savages, are they
Shut
really
up.
going to be with us?
They
Shut
are
up, Abel.
For the night, and you should be mighty grateful.
Well, I doubt if I'll be able to sleep with them camped with us.
Well, let me tell you, Professor, I
Oh,
wouldn't be able
man.
to sleep without them. Now that I know.
Yeah, that is the caveat of all of this. It's like, oh man, I'd really love to do what. Oh, I have things to do. I have to be productive.
I must admit, Mr. Paladin,
I had-
quite reassuring to
Go
have
pause.
Marshal Bone
I really
with me
love your
standing
art,
guard.
and I would love to do our trade with you. It sounds really cool. Maybe in the future.
Chivlaro and his men are mostly Apache half-breeds, ma'am, and not likely to attack an armed camp.
Well, it's my own damn
never
fault.
know.
I only stream for about 4 hours.
Uncle Oscar?
It's my own dumb fault. If I really was like, oh
Splendid
man,
idea. You can play for these gentlemen to express
I want to do that. I want to do a cool art trade with somebody. Well, if I fucking drew more, I would be able to.
What are they talking
No.
about? We are about to be favored by Miss Elsa Isles.
No.
Come on, Marshal.
I know you're too busy. No, I don't want my friends to feel like I'm too busy to see them.
And now,
No.
I take pleasure in presenting my lovely niece, Miss Elsa Isles, in concert at the compact but mighty console of this splendid
Ah,
New
you
World
want to promote yourself and others. I get you.
All ready, Uncle. Any requests, Mr. Paladin?
Oh, just something soft and gentle, Miss Isles.
I shall do my best. Just for you, Mr. Paladin.
Yeah. No, I get you. No, it makes sense.
Before
I just don't know
realized I was
about
lost in the music, lovely
I just
girl.
don't know. Maybe
The
we're
beauty and music
just
of the little harmonium
two very
made
different
for
artists.
contrast to the rugged wilderness and
Just-
the black night. I wasn't the only one
Just
absorbed by
not
the silent
sure.
sound. Marshall Bowen seemed hypnotized.
Could artists
and his men moved
draw
closer,
on the
gazing at the
battlefield?
girl. They were entranced by the strange music. Even the ones on guard turned their backs to the night and wandered toward the wagon. This would never do. I was about to stop her when she finished
Ah,
her
gotcha, gotcha. It's like those people that draw anime faces really well, and then when they draw something else, it's like, oh, you're still a good artist, but that anime face, though, you're real good.
Marshall, huh? Take a look at your men.
Well, I'll be... Get back to your posts, men. Paladin's right, ma'am. I almost forgot where we were. Thank you for the music, ma'am.
Well, Mr. Paladin, you're evidently not the music lover I thought you were.
A music lover I am, Miss Isles. I also have a great love for life.
You mean the renegades might be out there?
They might be.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, no, I've been told that I literally get lost in my pictures. Like it's crazy. Oh yeah, the roses. I just found a random tutorial and it was like, yeah, that works. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, no, that'll work. Yeah. Always important to use tutorials. A lot of people are like, how do you draw this? How do you do this? I don't know. Look at other artists for eternity and then try to emulate what they do.
Have a real cigarette.
A man is not an island.
Really enjoy smoking again.
You have to go out and experience things. You don't understand, Claire. A man isn't an island.
I tried to get as much rest as I could, for I knew that herding my musician friends through the infested country would be no picnic. I hated to see Marshall Bone and his
Oh,
men
yeah.
ride off.
No,
But I knew they had a job to do.
I try my best as like,
Getting the professor and
if
Elsa
someone
on the
gives
road
it
was
to
not
me,
easy.
that's totally fine. But I always assume I'm never going to, they're not going to give me anything except the bare minimum.
Now,
Miss Isles, if I'm to be responsible for your safety, you'll have
Which,
to follow
I'm
my
not
rules of the
wrong.
road.
Mr. Paladin's right, Elsa.
They give me like, well, I don't know what they look like.
He did, ma'am. He thinks you're worth protecting, even if you don't.
I'm not sure what they look like, but I want it to look like this. Oh, okay, cool. Let's get that. Because remember, there's always a slight reflection. But you knew that, Go Pause. You already were there. You were like, oh, the reflection. Never forget it.
Arrested by now. There. That'll do it. We'll need that water. There's desert country ahead.
Hope Josh is doing good as well. Hope everybody's doing good. By the way, wanted to extend that. Just be like, hope they're doing good.
Professor Isles. Professor Isles.
He couldn't have gone far.
Miss Isles, in this country, just behind that thicket is far. Come on, we better find him.
Oh, very well.
I wish I could convince you and your uncle that we're not on a Sunday outing. You know that Chivaro is in the area. We have to take every precaution.
Mr. Paladin, we're not children.
I wonder, Miss Isles. Professor?
Oh, a sad face.
Uncle Oscar.
I thought you meant it. It's like, oh no. You were yelling into the heavens. No.
Mr. Paladin.
He has work today. No.
Slicey throat.
which would have been fun. You want to spend time with the people you love. We're on this earth for such a short time, you know. You want to spend it with people you care about.
That's better, amigos. Now I can let this funny old man go without hurting him.
Elsa, he was going to kill me.
Oh, Uncle Oscar. What can you do, Mr. Paladin?
You better ask him. Senor Chivaro, I believe.
Yeah, go ahead, Chivaro.
You're fine, Gopaz.
What is to happen to you?
Oh,
make a wise
no.
decision, Chivaro.
Oh,
There's a
do
party not
that.
too far away.
This I know. That is why we return to the border. And now, amigos, because of you, Chivaro will travel in safety, comprende?
I think I do. We're your prisoners.
Did you
to
see
the
that?
of
What the
Mexico.
fuck happened?
Stitches to keep you from being attacked.
What the fuck?
See, with you among us, we will not worry about the gringo with the badge.
And after you cross the border,
Yeah, that's
What
okay.
then,
It's
senor?
okay to miss the people you love and care
You and all
about.
one here, my Apache brothers. can
It's
have to do what they need.
okay.
And as for the senorita, we will see.
Mr. Paladin, what is it?
That's what love's
Miss
about.
Isles, I'm afraid this is no time to explain.
You
Just-
want to see them smile and you want them
pray
to be
that you never
happy.
find out.
Every day you want them to just grow with you and be with you.
The professor and I were tied to the back of the wagon, half dragged along the dusty road. Chivaro rode up with Elsa, taunting her mercilessly. Just as the professor was about to collapse, we luckily had to stop for camp as it was growing dark. Guards were posted, and the professor and I were untied, forced to sit near the campfire. Much to the amusement of his men, Chivaro made sport of Elsa by climbing up into the wagon and throwing out her personal
Oh,
effects
that's so
one by one.
sweet. Oh, that's adorable.
Yes, Paladin.
Very adorable.
But I just saw Marshal Bone, a couple of his men, up on the bluff against the moonlight.
Oh.
No, they can't attack with us caught in the middle. Chivaro's guards haven't seen them. They're too busy watching Chivaro. We've got to find
My
a way out.
goodness, that's very adorable.
wagon, senorita. You play the music box for me.
Oh, I will not. You can't force me to. Uncle, Mr. Paladin.
I say you will play, senorita. And Chivaro mean what he said.
Oh, my arm, you're hurting.
You
Get that right.
Miss Isles,
Like,
wait. Please,
get that reflection in.
What?
play just
Oh
like you did last
yeah,
night.
the little lace.
Miss Isles.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Paladin.
My better, senorita. Look, Carl, you made the music for
Give it a little bit of highlights right there.
Are you thinking of Paladin making her play for that ruffian?
Remember what happened last night when she played? We were all practically hypnotized by the
That,
music. It might
give it a
happen
little bit
again.
of
Only
highlights.
Chivaro and his renegades will be the victims.
Oh, what then?
I'm not sure. I only hope that Marshal Bone and his men will take it as a signal to move in.
Paladin.
Oh yeah. She's not wearing much. She's not wearing much, but you know, you get it. Oh yeah.
Again, the music had its effect. Chivaro stared
It's
at
the
Elsa
little
as she played.
things.
His men were like children, intrigued by what they saw and heard. All of them turned toward the wagon, their guard duty, everything else forgotten. As I had hoped, Marshal Bone started the move. On the edge of the
And then I
darkness
was
around
gonna
fire,
add
I
the
saw one of his
red.
men move up on the renegade guard and pull him down
Yeah,
behind
she's
the
got a
boulders.
big ass
Another guard
flagpole
quietly
with a
disappeared as the marshal's
white
men took
flag of
positions as
peace
close to the
on it.
campsite as they
And if
dared.
you don't accept that
As
piece,
the
you better
music
get
ended their
ready.
selection, I knew it was time to act.
There's gonna be. I could be a crazy person and put flecks of blood everywhere. That would be great. Or give it kind of a burnt look, where it's been torn and all that it's battle damaged. Wouldn't be bad. Get some smudges here and there so it's not perfectly clean. Yeah.
Miss Isles. Miss Isles, you all right?
Yes, Mr. Paladin, I think so.
Well, let me help you down from the wagon. I guess you can see now why I wanted you to play.
Yes, Mr. Paladin, I can. And thank you. Thank you ever so much.
Howdy, Paladin. Hey, Paul.
But I'm glad you came in.
One of your concerts.
Oh, that's quite all right, Marshal Bone. After those renegades...
I'm
you
always
and
glad
your
to
flight
see you
angels.
go, Pauls.
We're not exactly angels, ma'am. Any you folks hurt? I guess not, but Chivaro and his men are not so fortunate. Yeah, I think we got them all.
You get the credit for Chavarro, Paladin.
Wait a minute. Where's the professor?
Oh, no. Over there, he's fallen.
Let me check him, Miss Isles.
He's so still.
He's breathing, though.
See no wound.
But he doesn't move. Uncle Oscar?
No, don't be upset. I think he'll come through.
What's wrong with him?
Oh, not too much, Miss Isles. It's my personal diagnosis. But the good professor has just fainted. Come in. Ah, Miss Wong. Hey, boy.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Paladin. Missy Wong and her boy come to welcome you back.
Well, that's most thoughtful of you.
You find people you go after?
Yes, Miss Wong, yes. Who lost or found and safely delivered.
Oh, that is very good, Mr. Paladin. Are you bringing back something interesting?
That's why you're here. You heard about my harmonium,
Are you
huh?
by Missy Wong the most curious about music box?
Well, it's right over here.
Oh.
It was presented to me for services rendered. And I have quite an attachment for this instrument. It saved my life.
Looks beautiful.
Yes, Mr. Paladin, can you play this harmonium?
No, hey, boy, I'm afraid not. Maybe someday I'll learn how. Oh, by the way, did you two use those tickets for the opera?
Oh, most certainly, Mr. Paladin. Missy Wong and her boy go, but not understanding one word.
Oh, words, very strange. But we can use it. Oh, you're lovely.
Well, I guess words aren't always important. Music hath charms to soothe the savage beast, to soften rocks or bend the knotted oak.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Mr. Paladin thinks Missy Wong and her boy savages?
Oh, no.
Yes, highlights. And then I've got to go over it again because it's all metallic. Soft highlights. Sufi highlights. Sufi highlights.
Pepsi-Cola refreshes without filling. Why? Because it's truly light.
Charlie, you're forgetting something.
Wait, Kay, there's more. Yes, ice-cold Pepsi is the delicious refreshment that goes great at a picnic or a party.
But, Charlie...
And Pepsi goes fast. People like it, so keep plenty handy. There.
Oh, you did fine. Except for one thing.
Well, I mentioned lightness and how Pepsi refreshes and how fast it goes.
You left out Pepsi sociability. You know the Be Sociable song.
But, Kay, I can't sing.
I can. Listen. Be sociable.
All right, you go love on him. You go love on that Josh. Give him big kisses. Give him a big old smooch.
Well, at least I can say this. Pick up an extra carton of Pepsi today.
Please do.
Have Gun Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed in Hollywood by Frank Parrott and stars John Daner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hey Boy and Virginia Gregg as Miss Wong. Tonight's story was specially written for Have Gun Will Travel by Rod Peterson. Featured in the cast were Joseph Kearns, Barney Phillips, Lawrence Dobkin, and Eleanor Berry. This is Hugh Douglas inviting you to join us again next week when CBS Radio presents Have Gun Will Travel.
No one can change what's happened in the past. But maybe I can do something to make up for it, to help you get a new start.
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Oh, hey, boy.
Hello, Mr. Paladin.
What? Hey, boy. What happened? Where'd you get that black eye?
Hey, boy, have fight.
Oh, Pop Singh?
Hey, sir.
He was bullying you again?
Hey, sir. Remember that book hey boy show you? For Confucius Place? Remember that thing you say? Good advice?
Yes, I remember. If a man does not resent slight injustices, he will soon be called upon to face giant wrongs.
Yes, sir. So, hey boy decide to resent injustice. So Hop Sing. Yes, sir. Hey boy get beat up.
Well, hey, boy, I was reading through that book, and do you know what else Confucius said? Do not glory in your strength. There is always a stronger.
Confucius have an answer for everything.
Yes, he does. Well, do you suppose you have the strength to carry out these bags for me?
Yes, sir. Where you going, Mr. Paladin?
I'm going to El Paso, head boy. While I'm gone, you heed this advice. Discretion is the better part of valor. So, stay out of Hop Singh's way.
Smoking more now, but enjoying it less.
Have a real cigarette. Have a Camel.
So good.
Have a Camel cigarette.
So rich.
Have a real cigarette. Have a Camel.
So mild.
Have a Camel cigarette.
And here's the reason why.
Best tobacco makes the best smoke. Have a Camel cigarette.
You can say that again.
Best tobacco makes the best smoke.
What is it, boy?
Camel cigarette.
You get what? Hey there.
If you're smoking more these days, but enjoying it less, then change to Camel, the best tasting cigarette of all.
Have a Camel.
Start to really enjoy smoking again.
It was early in the morning when I arrived in El Paso. I checked into a hotel, had breakfast, then walked 2 blocks to a small building. Painted on the glass front door was Melvin B. McCleary, attorney at law. When I first knew Mel McCleary, he was a prosecuting attorney for the state and a good man with a deep and abiding respect for the law. I hadn't seen him since he'd hung out his own shingle.
Paladin!
Hey, Mel.
Paladin, I
Hey.
knew you'd come. It's good to see you.
How are you, Mel? It's been a long time.
Sit down, sit down.
Sure, thanks. Oh, yes, nice setup you have here. How's it going? Having your own practice?
Good, very good. I'm so busy right now that I can't even take the time to clear my own conscience. That's why I sent for you.
Oh, I can't imagine your conscience carrying a load that would present much of a problem.
You remember a fellow named Wiley Dawson?
Dawson? No.
Well, you have to go back a few years. It was my first case as prosecutor in Texas. You were here at the time.
Oh. Sure, of course.
Yes.
He was.
I remember.
Charged with the whole
Now the boy must get
snack.
snack. He has a snack attack.
The outcome of that trial was that Dawson was sentenced to life imprisonment.
Yeah.
The boy has a snack attack.
And escaped.
Your big
I didn't know that.
big snack attack.
So, Pete,
Big baby
I
has a
the
snack
law kept
attack.
after him all his doctrine. But he always managed to stay just one jump ahead.
Never captured him.
No, he's been a fugitive for 2 years now, living like a hunted animal. Well, a month ago, a man made a full confession to that holdup. Dawson has been completely exonerated.
Oh. I guess I can understand how you feel, Mel. It hasn't been pleasant living with myself this past month.
Well, you only did your job.
Whatever. But he's got to be found, Paladin. Somehow I must find a way to try to make amends. I need your help.
All right, Mel. Where do I start looking?
Thank you, Paladin. Well, there's been no word on him for several months. But there is a woman from down Chinati way across the border. I've heard she may know something. You might start there. Her name is Maria. That's all I know.
I followed the Rio Grande River south and crossed the border into the town of Chinati.
Kissy
Hot,
boy.
dry, and dusty. At one end of the only street was a cathedral. At the other end, a cantina.
Have you made
Not
yourself
much
a
in
little
between.
spot in there? Oh my
I headed for the
goodness.
cantina. It was empty, except for the fat
Big
bartender
rabbit
and
made a
fat
big
fly.
old nest.
Yeah.
Big old rabbit made a big old nest. He just a baby. He just a
The
baby.
hotel in this town?
No, senor.
Sorry, everyone. He's just a baby.
Tengo hambre.
Ah, sí, senor, you can eat. Fíjate, muy bueno.
Where is it?
It's out there, that way. Una casita, you can find
Thanks. What's your name?
it. Esteban.
Esteban, do you know a man named Wiley Dawson?
No sabe.
Wiley Dawson.
No sabe.
You know his girlfriend? Her name is Maria. You know where I can find her?
No sabe.
Look, Esteban, I come as a friend to Senor Dawson. I have a very important message for him.
Don't know him. Don't know him.
Believe me, he'll be glad to see me. Yeah, well, I don't know how to convince you, but sometimes this can be pretty convincing.
Ah, sí.
Not so fast. Wiley Dawson, you know him?
Senor, not for all the gold you could stack from here to here, could I tell you that?
Look, if he shows up this afternoon, I'll be at Tia Rosa's. Tia Rosa's was about a half mile from the cantina, a small adobe hut set in the middle of nothing. The food was not muy bueno, but it was filling, and the specialty of the house, as far as I was concerned, was a dirt-floored patio that boasted a large cottonwood tree. After eating, I laid down in the blessed shade and promptly fell asleep. My awakening was a rude one. I was lifted to my feet by the front of my shirt, and a fist drove into my chin. Hey, you, come here. Oh, no way. Look.
That's from Wiley Dawson, mister. I promised myself that the next one that came along was going to get it. That's you.
Come here. No, stop it.
There's lots of hate behind that fist, mister. You, all of you, dogging my trail, hounding me. I've had enough. I'm not running anymore, see?
Come here.
Lucy, if anyone phones me tonight, I'm not home.
Oh, dear, all week you've been coming home like this, cross and tired.
If you'd had my nagging backache with restless, sleepless nights, you'd feel worn out, too.
But why just complain of backache? Do something.
What?
Try Doan's pills.
Right. Doan's pills are an analgesic and mild diuretic to the kidneys. Nagging backache, also headache, dizziness, and muscular aches and pains, may come on with overexertion, emotional upset, or everyday stress and strain. Doan's pain-relieving action is often the answer, and they also offer mild diuretic action through the kidneys. So if nagging backache is making you feel worn out, tired, and miserable with restless, sleepless nights, don't wait. Try Doan's pills, used successfully by millions for over 60 years. See if they don't bring you the same welcome relief. Get Doan's pills today. To save money, buy Doan's big economy size.
Oh, at last you open your eyes.
Hmm? Well, what do you know? Where do you come from?
I am Maria, the old woman Theo Rostic's my grandmother.
Maria? You Wiley Dawson's girl?
I am Wiley Dawson's wife.
His wife? Where's Dawson?
He had to go. Some men came for him. There was a big hurry. Please, senor, you make yourself able to leave here before she gets back.
Miss Dawson, I have to talk to you. Did your husband think I was the law?
Is that not right? You are?
No. I came to bring him word that he doesn't have to run away from the law anymore. He's a free man.
What is this you say?
Another man has confessed to the crime that he was charged with. A terrible wrong has been done to your husband, Maria.
You sit there, senor, and you say terrible wrong. You don't know how terrible.
I can guess.
We married when Wiley Cobb escaped from prison. We go to Kansas and homestead. But comes law. We run. Wiley works in mine in Arizona. Law comes, we run. Run, always run. Because of something another man do.
No one can do anything about the past, Maria, but maybe something can be done to make up for it, to help you get a new start.
It is too late, senor.
What do you mean?
My husband tried to do what is right. But, senor, only so much a man can hold. How you say? You have the name, just as good to have the game. My husband has now joined with El Bandido Paco.
Paco?
Yes.
How long ago did you throw in with Paco?
Only last week. They meet and they talk in the cantina.
The way Paco hates gringos, he must have some good reason for taking your husband in. Probably a job he is planning where he'll need him. Is he with Paco now?
Yes. Paco's men come. They ride to camp this instant.
And do you know the trail of this camp?
I have seen it, yes.
Well, come on and show me. I'm going up there.
Roses.
No, senor.
Roses of blue. Rose.
Maria, I have a job to
They're
do
so
to find
blue.
Wiley Dawson, deliver the message to
My
him.
God.
Take him back to El Paso. He'll be helped to make a new life.
My
But none
God,
of that
they're
will matter
so
unless I
blue.
can get to him before he starts out with Paco and really commits a crime.
I understand. Senor,
Huh?
pare. Stop it.
Oh, no. Is this it?
Up ahead. That trail.
Up through those rocks there?
Senor, there is a rifle behind every bush.
Now, they're riflemen. Would they shoot to kill? Or just take me prisoner?
Take you prisoner, of course. To have the pleasure to torture the gringo. Believe me, Senor Paladin. You should not go up there.
Look, Maria, will you take this? My card. Now, I've written a name on the back of it, the name of a man in El Paso. If I'm, if I'm detained, see if you can get in touch with him, will you?
Yes. You are a foolish man. But que Dios te bendiga.
Thank you. I know you go back, Maria.
Adios.
Adios. All right, boy. Come on. Come on. Take up your seat. Come on.
Alto!
Hey.
Alto!
Oh,
Ready?
my name is Paladin.
Gringo! Venga acá! Gringo! Pronto!
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos. Corn chips. It's not polite to smack your lips, but you can't help it with Fritos. Corn chips. Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos. Corn chips.
That's right, Fritos corn chips. So crisp and light, there's contentment in every munch. Serve them at outdoor parties, as a snack, or with dip. Fritos corn chips are so good with cold drinks. everyone will want to munch a bunch. Fritos have a flavor no other kind of chip can match.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
Fritos are golden chips of corn just made to munch. Keep Fritos corn chips on hand for the perfect warm weather between meal treats. Tuck a bag in every lunch, picnic, or otherwise. Serve them with sandwiches, salads, all summer meals. Fritos corn chips are full of good, crisp, refreshing flavor. Fritos, Fritos corn chips.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
Rifles were trained on me from all sides as I was led up the trail. Paco's camp was in a wide valley that lay on the other side of the steep cliff. There were many untidy rows of jacales, thatch-roofed huts. And in front of the biggest one, squatting on the ground in a circle, were a bunch of the meanest-looking men I've ever seen, and Wiley Dawson. Horses were standing nearby, saddled and ready.
Ándale, gringo. Paco, nosotros encontrábamos este gringo en la vereda. ¿Qué quiere? What do you want, gringo?
I come to talk to Wiley Dawson.
You. Look, didn't you have enough?
Dawson, who is this man?
The law, Pot.
I am not the law.
Candid Chinati after me. I knocked him around some. I should have killed him.
Dawson, will you listen to me? You don't have to run from the law anymore. A man confessed to the crime you were charged with. You're a free man.
Oh, it's a trick, Mr. Dawson. These gringos from the law have many tricks.
Sure, it's a trick. They've used just about every one in the book to try to...
Dawson, listen.
You listen, lawman. 5 years ago, I was convicted of robbing a Wells Fargo office and killing a guard. I didn't do it. You want to know where I'm going now? I'm going into El Paso, and I am going to rob that Wells Fargo office, and if a guard gets in my way, I'll kill it.
Don't do it.
Come on, Dawson, we must go. You gringo lawman, we'll save you for when we get back. Then we have the sport. We'll feed you to ants. Vámonos, señores. Pancho, tie up this gringo lawman. We'll save him for later.
The men mounted the horses and rode off. Then, at the point of a rifle, I was prodded into one of the huts, and my hands and feet were tied. Sometime later, I began to consider that perhaps I was too conscientious about my work when I heard the commotion outside.
Senor Paredes.
Huh? Maria.
I was at the bottom of this wreck. I saw the men right away. My husband with... Senor, he does not belong with us bandidos.
Of course he doesn't. What's going on out there?
There are not many men left in camp. I see that they're busy. I set fire to the jacales at the far end. Here, let me untie your hands.
Yeah. Well, how did you get by the trail guard?
With a lie, I say I'm on errand for my husband.
Maybe it wasn't a lie, Maria. Maybe I can still stop him. Can you get me a gun?
I think so. Yes, your hands are free.
Thanks. Now I'll get these ropes around my ankles.
Senor, what can you do against all of those Pacos bandidos?
Pacos bandidos won't dare ride into El Paso. They'll stay at a safe distance. It'll be Dawson and maybe a couple of Pacos, and then when he feels he can afford to lose... There we are.
Your horse is still out there.
Good. I'll look out and see if it's clear.
There's no one.
How's the fire?
It does very well.
Yeah, it's spreading. I believe it's even drawn the trail guard. Well, let's go, Maria. It was a long ride and a hard one, and I knew I was making good time, but it wasn't good enough. When I reached El Paso, there were gunshots coming from the Wells Fargo office, and by the time I dismounted and went inside, the safe had been blasted open and the guard lay on the floor with a bullet in him. Hey.
Bandit robbed safe.
Who shot you?
Little Mexican bandit.
Which way they go?
Out the back.
All right, you'll be all right. I'm going after them. Hey, you, stop. Dawson, hold it.
No, he didn't miss anything exciting except I gave the bunny a carrot. He needed a carrot, so I gave him a treat. He had to get carrot.
I am not a lawman.
So he now has treats.
But I want
so
you to know I didn't shoot
he
that
is a
guy.
happy
I know.
boy.
He told me who it was.
Right, Little
He can
Rabbit, are
testify
you a
for
happy boy?
Oh, he'll be all right. But your compañeros are dead.
You're wiggling your
It'd be
nose.
better if I was.
Nonsense.
Yes, he always deserves a treat.
Right. I'll take the stand for you, too. And there's a lawyer I know, the best in the state.
He feels he owes
I
you
gave
a
him a
lot.
treat last night
You're
after
talking
when he
You'll
was
see.
getting petted.
Now, we better get that shoulder fixed up.
Yeah, give him a good old big old tiny baby carrot. I give him 5 baby carrots to equal 1 carrot.
Come in. Oh, Miss Wong.
Glad to see you back.
Well,
All right, I'll see
I
you
always give him. I always give him a lot of
I'm
carrot.
waiting for you, Miss Wong. Oh, wait now.
But you're not gonna miss this part. Oh boy, oh boy. So far, what we have gotten done. Damn. Damn, it's looking good. Damn, it be looking fine.
Lovely, Miss Wong.
She be looking like a
Why anyone in
warrior.
San Francisco should want one of those.
She's
is
fierce.
Beyond me.
Oh, Mr. Paladin.
She be fierce. When a girl comes into the club looking like this. Let's see, who is on?
Thirsty
You know
people
what?
everywhere prefer ice cold
Either
Pepsi-Cola.
2 Magic
And because
Cat.
it's light,
2
it refreshes
Magic
without
Cat.
filling.
Let's
I am,
see.
eh?
I
Pepsi
am
is a
going to
favorite of
end
thirsty
stream
people from
because I
many
gotta
of
get
Hawaii
ready
from
for
Alaska to
work.
Florida. It's
Fun
perfect for
times.
parties or picnics. So serve
You
Pepsi
know,
to your
fun
guests.
times.
This is the sociable part.
I gotta get ready
Plenty
for
of Pepsi ice
work.
cold and ready.
Hooray.
Remember, it goes fast because
So
everybody
much
likes Pepsi.
fun. Oh my god. Be sociable, damn it. Damn it, be flippin' sociable.
But singing doesn't say, pick up an
Be
extra
sociable,
carton of
damn
Pepsi
it.
today. Better yet, get a cake.
Raid. 2 Magic Cat. 2.
Have gun, will travel.
2
Created by Herb
Magic.
Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed in Hollywood by Frank Parrott, and stars John Daner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy and Virginia Gregg as Miss Wong. Tonight's story was specially written for Have Gun, Will Travel by Ann Dowd. Featured in the cast were Harry
So
Bartell,
not,
Bartlett
not
Robinson,
trying to be
Jack
rude
Edwards,
to
John
anybody
Donnelly,
or
and Peggy
anything
Weber.
like that. I'm glad
This is
all
Hugh
of you
Douglas inviting
came
you to join
in.
us again next week
Thank you
when
so
CBS Radio
much.
presents Have
You guys
Gun,
are
Will
amazing.
Travel.
You guys are stupendous. But just say hi and all that. I got to get ready for work. So you guys stay positive, stay incredible, stay amazing. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Blam. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.